Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Timothy here with Mana Rocks, and we are going to attempt to draft our first traditional Theros Beyond Death draft for the channel. Just a little bit of a disclaimer here. I recorded a sealed event, but it came out really choppy for some reason, and I don't know what was going on with Arena and the client in general during like the pre-release weekend, but there were so many disconnection errors that I think it actually made for some pretty poor viewership overall. So unfortunately, I won't be posting that. It was a pretty sweet deck, a Jund deck. I think I ended up going 5-3 before I fell out. That was like best of one, but we're gonna go ahead and do traditional draft here, which is best of 3 drafting. And I don't have a lot of experience under my belt yet. I've done 2 drafts, one of which was on Arena, and that one went 5-0. Actually, yeah, I went 5-0. I can actually go ahead and show you the deck real quick. It's a little blurry here, but there we go. So it was basically a mono black deck, splashing Perforos's Intervention, but the real headliner here was the quadruple Blight Breath Catoblepis. And, this as just an initial foray into the format gave me a pretty good idea that, monocolor decks could potentially work if they're open and if you stay to your lane. The real headliner was Timoret. I wish I had recorded this draft in particular, but Timoret was an all-star, just basically ate my opponent's graveyard, made escape irrelevant for them, and it was a decent blocker while also making the devotion work for my other cards like the Catoblepis. No Grey Merchants, but Pharika Spawn also was an all-star for this deck, just a very powerful card, as well as the removal spells being pretty sweet. Elspeth's Nightmare, also pretty decent, and Perforos's Intervention paid off a couple times. Both modes are solid. You're going to use the removal mode majority of the time, but sometimes you just kill your opponent with the other mode, and that's pretty sweet. But I did want to go ahead and share that because it was a pretty sweet deck. We're going to go ahead and give another shot here at drafting Theros Beyond Death. I do want to point out that for the majority of my drafts on this channel, I like to do best of 1, but that option is not available until, I believe, the last day of January. So it'll be a whole nother week before I can do best of 1 drafts on Arena. You can see I've got a bunch of coins already saved up, but I'm going to use some of my dwindling number of gems here to do a traditional draft, and we'll see what we can get into. Before we jump into the draft, I do want to say, first off, thanks for joining me. If you enjoy this sort of content, if the draft is entertaining or taught you something, or you just want to go ahead and talk about it, feel free to subscribe below. That lets me know that, it's worth my time to go ahead and actually record these, since I do think they're fun to record. Makes me stay a little bit more honest, right? And on top of that, you can find me on Twitter at mtg_manarocks. But enough advertisements. Let's go ahead and jump into our draft and see what we've got. There are a lot of really sweet rares that we're hoping to see. Let's see if we get one. Ooh, there's one. All right. So, again, this is kind of my first draft for the channel, so I'm going to talk about cards a little bit more under the assumption that people generally know what most of the cards do, but the ones I'm looking at very closely, I'll probably read through them and give you an idea of what I'm thinking. So the draft might be a little bit longer than my typical draft, but we're basically snapping our first pick, Tectonic Giant, here. This is a 4-mana 3/4. When it attacks or when your opponent targets it with a spell, you get to deal 3 damage to your opponent or exile the top 2 cards of your library, and you have until the end of your next turn to cast those cards. So if this attacks, you're basically already dealing 3 damage. If they can't deal with it, they're taking 6, or if you don't need to deal damage, you just need card advantage, you just basically get to draw 2 cards, right? You can play lands as well. It's kind of crazy. And if your opponent has to remove this with a spell, a removal spell, anything like that, you get to trigger it again. So this is just an awesome creature. I have found red in general to be a little lackluster. There's a lot of pretty poor commons in red, and I do think it might be tied with blue for like the worst color, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's unplayable. I really like white, black, and green. At least that's my initial take on this format, is I enjoy those colors. Red has some solid removal, but outside of that, it's got some pretty weird creatures and some clunky removal on top of that. But Tectonic Giant's easy pick here. If not for that, 3 cards I'm looking at. Stinging Lionfish. I haven't actually played the, Flash deck yet. I haven't seen it in action, but it seems like if you get payoffs like this Lionfish, it's pretty decent. Arena Trickster. I don't really consider this much of a payoff. But I guess if you're in blue-red, then Trickster's fine, right? I hate this card. This card sucks. Like, I've never seen it be good, and people keep playing it, right? Sometimes it's stuck in their hand. They can't even cast it. And then sometimes they play it, and it's like a 2/2, and you just draw some cards and it dies. And it's a symmetrical effect. They have to discard as well. Like, this card would still suck if it wasn't symmetrical, I think, and it is, so it sucks even more. Mire Triton would probably be my pick out of this pack if it weren't for the Giant. This is just like the perfect little package of a creature, right? Life gain, self-mill in a set that cares about your graveyard, Death Toucher, Merfolk Zombie. Like, it's just super sweet, right? This card is awesome. You should take it. I'm not sure, actually, if Final Death is the pick over Mire Triton, but I would actually lean towards taking the Mire Triton. But enough of this pack. We're taking the Tectonic Giant and hopefully playing it. All right, nice little follow-up. Actually, a couple nice follow-ups here. So first off, there's Careless Celebrant. This is the 2-mana 2/1. When it dies, it deals 2 damage to a creature or planeswalker. It can't hit players, so it's not quite like a Vyashno Pyromancer type effect, but it does trade up, right? Your opponent attacks you with a 4/4, you block with this thing, you can trade it off, and that's actually pretty decent out of your 2-mana creature. Sometimes you get just a clean 2-for-1 off of this too, where they kill this and you can pop another 2-power creature, or rather 2-toughness creature, and yeah, a 2-drop being able to do that's pretty sweet. Seems like a nice follow-up to Tectonic Giant. Voracious Typhon, 4-mana 4/4 that escapes as a 7/7. This card has just been an all-star. It seems like red-green in general, or rather just the big green beaters, are quite nice since a lot of the removal in this set is damage-based, and there are ways to get around the enchantment-based removal in basically every color. Voracious Typhon has just been basically green's best common creature. It might be tied with best card in green with the fight spell, the fight enchantment. What is it, Warbriar's Blessing, but I do think this is green's best creature. Significantly better than something like the Colossus, and I really don't like the Skirmisher at all, but we're going to go ahead and take Careless Celebrant. There is actually Nyx Herald too, which is quite strong, but picked a red rare. Let's follow up with a good red card. Alright, well, now is about as good a time as any to talk about Grey Merchant of Asphodel. Grey Merchant is good, like it's a very good card, but I do think it's going to be overrated throughout the course of this game. And I think people are just going to know that this card is great in Commander, know that it was very good in Triple Theros, where you could get multiples, and Mono Black was really good. I'm not actually even sure I should take it here, because it is nice to pick up a Grey Merchant early. Red-Black has a little bit of reanimation synergy. There's a Mire's Grasp here, and Grey Merchant plus Mire's Grasp is showing me that Black is fairly open. But with that being said, I've taken 2 pretty good red cards, and I have an option to take another Celebrant, which is also good in your black-red sacrifice deck, right? And taking the Celebrant lets me keep a little bit more open. You can see a bunch of white cards here as well, so I could see pivoting into red-black or red-white. Merchant and Mire's Grasp are better cards than Careless Celebrant, so I'm wondering if I'm supposed to shift here. This is actually a really interesting point of contention, because I would like to stay as close to monocolored as possible, although I guess red has the least exciting payoffs for that. As we mentioned in some of our review videos, the only red devotion cards in this set are Perforos, which is a mythic rare and not very good card, and Anax, which is a fantastic card, but it's uncommon. There's no guarantee we're going to get one. Mire's Grasp is also great, but I would take Grey Merchant over Mire's Grasp. What would you guys take? This is actually a pretty strong point of contention for me here, because I'm one of those people who's going to overrate Grey Merchant and just think it's always going to be fantastic. My inclination is to take this Celebrant and just go as aggro as possible with the red cards, since I already have 2 red cards. I'm going to go ahead and do that against my gut. Ooh, there's a Timuret. Okay, well, here's where I probably pivot. Yeah, black is super open. So I might end up regretting this pick. You know, I know a lot of people are like, Gary, why no Gary? But the thing is, these 2 red cards are pretty mediocre, and that's what I'm talking about when I say, you know, red's got a little bit less quality commons than the other colors. Black here has Timuret, Catoblepis, and Omen of the Dead, which are all cards I like quite a bit, and even Cling to Dust is solid here. So I do think I'm going to start moving into black here. The question is, what do I want to take? I think I'm going to take Timuret, which really, really makes me regret not having that Grey Merchant, but, you know, I took a respectable pick here. Timuret is double black, so it's a little bit awkward with what we have here, but I would rather have a card like this and then try to take my Catoblepises late, which I've noticed the bots don't value this card very highly based on my 2 drafts. And Omen of the Dead, we might even wheel this based on the fact that they're 4 black cards. This isn't really a card at all. I'm not sure why this card exists, but I'm going to take Timuret. Hopefully we can showcase what that does. Following that up, well, Okay, there's some interesting cards here. And again, we're going to talk a little bit in depth about most of our picks here, so, bear with me. You can skip ahead to the matches if you don't care. I could see a defensible pick between any of the black cards. I'm not going to take Flummox Cyclops. It's not quite on par with what I want to be doing here. If I had some sort of payoff for having 4-power creatures already, then I would consider the Cyclops here. But there's also Altar of the Pantheon, which is a card that I like if I end up with expensive cards. And it helps with things like Temerate. It adds to the devotion while also just making it easier to cast your cards. And I have noticed a lot of decks in this format end up with double color cards and usually end up wanting to splash cards because there is just, a solid cycle of uncommon gold cards and common gold cards. But I think if we want an altar, we can pick it up late. Discordant Viper is a nice card if you have sacrifice energies, which we don't have yet, although it looks like we're fairly well set up if we do end up with those cards. Underworld Charger, another card that I think is going to be extremely overrated, although that doesn't mean that it's bad. If I was an aggro deck, which it looks like I could be, I think Underworld Charger is solid, but I do think if you end up being on the draw in Game 2, you should actually be boarding it out. There's also Funeral Rites, which I'm not going to take here over the 2 creatures, but I don't mind having a draw spell in my red-black decks if I don't end up with a lot of recursion. So that comes down to Piper versus Underworld Charger, and I guess, I don't know. They both add Black Devotion, so that's not really like a huge consideration here. I do think I want the first Charger over the Piper, because I don't actually have anything that cares about sacrificing my creatures yet. So Piper is a little bit weaker, even though, again, as I said, Charger gets a little bit worse later on. But it is nice to have 1 or 2 escape cards. So I'm going to take my Charger and then kind of stick to my gut that I should be boarding it out on the draw. Field of the Dead. Not particularly playable in this format. I guess if your opponent has the Maze of Ith rare, then sure. Favorite of Iroas, nice if you build around it. I do think white aggro decks are nice. Aspect of Lamprey, also a pretty decent card in this format. I like it a little bit more in controlling decks than a deck like this, because I don't really want to stick my 1/1 lifelink on like a 2-power creature, and I don't really want a 4-mana Mind Rot unless I know I'm going to win the late game, but that's not really where my deck's going. So I do think I'm going to pick up my first Omen of the Dead here, and just be extremely sad I don't have a Grey Merchant. Okay, Underworld Ragehound. People tell me this card's good. I haven't actually played with it yet. I've played against it once, and, it traded for a creature, so I don't really have a good idea of how this card is going to work out, but it seems very nice for an aggressive deck here. Farika's Libation. I don't love this card, but I do like it as a sideboard option against some of the hexproof cards, like Dream Trawler, which is a card that I'm sure we'll play against every single round. Not a fair Magic card. And B, I do like it against decks that are going to be stacking auras on top of creatures. Things like this, even though this makes 1/1, so maybe not. I don't usually I don't think I really want more than 1 Omen of the Dead. I'd rather pick up a red Omen at this point. I would probably play 2, but I'm going to take the aggressive creature here. We have Black Devotion card. It is worth noting if you end up with good devotion payoffs like Grey Merchant, Catoblepices, that you could value a card like this a little bit higher. It's not an exceptional card. In fact, being an enchantment in black and red is more of a downside because there's not a lot of enchantment or constellation synergy in black and red. But having the double black pip might be a little bit better than just your average 3 or 4 drop that only has 1 black pip. Could take a Farika's Libation. Don't think I want Arena Trickster and Oread. Not the 2-drop I'm looking for. If this was the Incendiary Oracle, I would probably take it. It's a little annoying that there are 2 red drop creatures that kind of look similar. Commons with like fire around them. I guess I could take the Libation here. I don't have any removal yet. I guess Careless Celebrants are kind of removal. This card is more defensive. It seems like more of the blue-red type thing, although I guess it helps with escape a little bit. We can discard escape cards for value. I wonder if I just want the 4/3, although then I have a double black card and a double red card. I think I'm actually going to take... No, let's take the 4/3. We could end up with more Black Devotion payoffs. No, I hate you. Final Flare. Okay, Final Flare is decent with the Celebrants. I would say we could take this with, like, Portent of Betrayal, but that's like a 7-mana combo. It's not great. Lampad of Death's Vigil. That's actually pretty strong with the Celebrants as well. Maybe I'd take the Lampad. This seems like a good way to mop up the game once your opponent's kind of taken a beating, right? If you get enough damage in early on, Lampad can actually finish them off. Final Flare. I would probably play my first Final Flare. but I do think I want like Discordant Pipers and stuff before I'm excited about this card. It is actually pretty nice against some of the enchantment-based removal though, right? Is Final Flare better than this Lampad? I think I'm actually going to take the Lampad here. Alright, people like Mogus's Favor. I tried playing this in a white-black Aura deck, and it didn't really kill a significant number of my opponent's creatures, and it didn't do too much to pump my own creatures. It actually seems quite bad in this deck where it kills my own creatures. But Hero of the Games doesn't seem very good either if I don't have ways to pump it, which I have no ways to target it right now. Maybe my deck's just in the mood for a 3-mana 3/2. Bronze Sword sucks. I would basically never play a Bronze Sword. Mogus's Favor is probably alright, though. Could always board it in against decks like mine. I'm going to take this Hero. Okay, Aspect. I would probably play an Aspect. Fruit is not a card. Nope, we're not taking the Fruit. We're not doing it. And, ooh, Starlight Mantle's good. Eidolon of Philosophy I don't like. Alright, so moving into pack number 2. You know, a little bit sad we gave up a Gray Merchant, but I think we're in a pretty decent spot here. Probably going to snap off our rare again. It is worth noting that Theros seems like a rare-heavy set. The rares are very strong in this set. At least, you know, majority of rares are better than, like, your better uncommons and commons and stuff. So you are going to take your rare most of the time. So Irose's Blessing would be my fallback here. There's another Timurat, although I think one Timurat's probably where you want to be. But the Akroan War is really nice. So for 4 mana, you take your opponent's best creature, and you get to keep it as long as the Akroan War is on board. Then the next turn, it forces your opponent to attack out with all their creatures. So hopefully you get to, you know, make favorable blocks, or at least, you know, not block, and then leave your opponent in kind of a position where you can attack them back with your aggressive creatures. And then Chapter 3 makes all tapped creatures deal damage to themselves equal to their power, which is kind of neat because Chapter 3 will trigger after you've untapped all your creatures. So your creatures are basically safe from Chapter 3, but your opponent's creatures are not because they had to attack the previous turn. The interesting thing, of course, is that once Chapter 3 goes off, you sack the Akroan War, and then your opponent will get their creature that you took from Chapter 1 back. But we do have things like the Lampad here, which can sacrifice those creatures, and I might look for more sacrifice synergy if I can. I'm really looking for the red, black, gold card here. Irose's Blessing is a really nice removal spell, but I think the upside of a Akroan War is going to be a little bit higher. Here we have probably Elspeth's Nightmare. Venomous Hierophant is okay, but not really another 4-drop that I want to add to this deck right now. I'm actually looking for more low curve stuff, cheap removal. Escape Velocity is not a card I love unless I end up with a lot of these hero cards, which I have one right now, and I'm not convinced this card's very good. Could play Infuriate. Wouldn't mind probably playing 1 to 2-ish okay pump spells, and Infuriate is just that. It's an okay pump spell. Stampede Rider would be a filler type card. Don't love Libation here. Scavenging Harpy, it's okay. And Blight Breath Catoblepis is decent as well, as just a top-end creature, right? Elspeth's Nightmare, I think, does a good enough job overall at potentially being a 2-for-1 while also just getting a small creature out of the way. Also, exiling your opponent's graveyard matters in this set, so I do like Elspeth's Nightmare. I think that's going to be my pick here. It's also the coolest card here, which I'm not going to lie, sometimes I pick cards based on cool factor. Alright, well, I think we hit our first kind of weak pack for us, right? We could take a 7-3, not in love with that. I do like Rage Scarred Berserker, and I do think kind of a beatdown red-black deck is where you want to be. It's also a nice little combo with Tectonic Giant, because it gives it indestructible, so you can basically just freely attack for that turn. Still don't love Mogus's Favor, still don't love Stampede Rider here, but I'm going to take this Berserker, which I think has proved its worth. It's a pretty good card. Skophos War Leader, Cling to Dust. Elysian Caryatid, Thirst for Meaning are both very good, as is Hero of the Nyxborn, but we're not even close to that. We are pretty set in our colors. I don't think we're shifting or anything like that. I'm tempted to take Cling to Dust as a potential late game kind of card draw spell that can also eat my opponent's graveyard. There is Skophos War Leader, though, which, can this sack enchantments? It can. This does give us a little bit of a sack outlet for things like Akroan War, anything else that needs sacrificing. Also, a cool little interaction with the sacrifice cards and the sagas is you can put the last chapter on the stack. the Saga will not sacrifice itself until the ability resolves. So you can put the trigger on the stack and then sacrifice the enchantment and still get the final chapter there. Satyr's Cunning sucks. We're not playing that. Sure, I'll take Skophos War Leader. Here we have, again, sacrifice stuff. Oh, I guess Blood Aspirant is a little bit of a sacrifice payoff. This card seems good on turn 2 and a lot worse as the game goes on, but it's another way to just kind of sacrifice creatures for value. It gets a counter whenever you sacrifice any permanent, just straight up, and then you can actually pay mana, tap it, and sacrifice a creature to ping a creature, and then that creature can't block for the turn. Final Flare as well. I think I am going to take Blood Aspirant, mostly because I want to try the card out. I haven't seen it in play yet. I'm not sure it's amazing. There's Grim Physician, there's Final Flare. I would play basically both of these as well as Funeral Rites, but yeah, let's try Blood Aspirant here. Alright, there's Portent. Portent's a little bit better when we have Blood Aspirant. It is 6 mana kill a creature. We have Lamphead as well, which makes it 5 mana kill a creature. Skophos War Leader, 5 mana kill a creature. I do think this is a deck that wants Portent of Betrayal. I don't mind Soul Guide Lantern. I would consider playing this in basically any deck. I have seen it be relevant. Just having that exile on a stick, quite literally, seems pretty good here. But I'm going to take the Portent. This looks like a Portent deck. Impending Doom, huh? I don't like this card. I guess against people who don't have a lot of removal, this goes up in value. Basically, you just slap it on a creature and it gets +3/+3. Do I take another Portent? Is this that much of a Portent deck that I want another one? I don't think I like this card. I've had people play it against me and I just destroy them. I might take 3 to 6 extra damage, but then you kill them and they're down a card. Omen seems pretty good in decks that are going to be sacrificing creatures, but yeah, let's grab this Portent. Oread. I don't think I'm going to play Oread, but it's the only pick out of that pack. Alright, I don't think I want 3 Portents. That's a little bit high up there, but I'm going to take Grim Physician. This trades up nicely, the same way Careless Celebrant trades up. Escape Velocity seems weak to me. I'm going to take Libation here over the 3-drop creature, I think. Mostly as a sideboard hedge against those Aura decks. Yeah, I definitely don't want this 7/3, that's for sure. Yeah. Satyr's Cunning, I know. Alright, another Grim Physician seems solid. And pack 3. Well. Oh boy. Well, I'm going to take this, and we're probably going to try to play it. Kiora Best the Sea God is not a fair Magic card. If you haven't read this card, just go ahead and pause and read it. I'm not even going to go over it, but it's not only the best card in the set, but it's like one of the best limited rares I've ever seen in my life, and I've seen some pretty good limited rares. God, we are so high up on red-black right now, though. But I could see, like, cutting black here and just being red-blue and making this card work. I'm going to take it. There is an Omen of the Forge here, which would be, like, perfectly playable. But I'm going to take this card, and we're going to do our best to move into blue. I would not normally suggest doing this for, like, a strong rare, but this is above and beyond a strong rare. If we resolve this spell, we might just, like, win the game on the spot. So let's see what happens. So now I actually have to really think about my colors and what I'm trying to do here. There's also Thassa's Intervention, which is a really strong card as well. As far as blue goes, I have a Starlit Mantle. I could play an Eidolon of Philosophy. Let me look through it. My red is probably better than my black. The Portents get a lot worse here if I cut the black, though. I still have the Blood Aspirant. Let me just real quick see how close I am to mono black, because I'm not excited about a lot of the black. Elspeth's Nightmare is solid. Timuret's solid. The rest of it is more like combo pieces. This does put me really low on playables. 14 playables. 15 with the Thassa's Intervention. Wow. Yeah, I'm going to take Thassa's Intervention here. And we'll see what else comes our way. Alright, here's Omen of the Forge. There's also Omen of the Sea now, but I do think I'm just going to take the Forge. It's a nice little shock. I like Agonize and Remorse. If we were still on that plan, we would take that. But, man, I'm probably going to have to, like, try and draft, like, an Unknown Shores and a Traveler's Amulet or something like that. Eidolon of Philosophy is also very whatever. Omen of the Forge is solid, though. Here, wow, look at this black now. Are we just making a complete mistake by playing blue? I don't actually think we are. Memory Drain kind of sucks. I'm going to take Mire's Grasp. I could see splashing a little bit of black here, which has ended up a 3-color deck. Kiora, Best of Sea God. Of course, that would be pack 3. Of course. Sure, I'm taking a Mire's Grasp. Just looking for any mana fix I can possibly get here. Aspect of the Mana Core is solid. It's a really nice card to go with the Tectonic Giant. I wonder if I'm supposed to just like play 2 islands and a couple black cards. That seems wrong. That seems very wrong. Field of Ruin. We can destroy a non-basic to go fetch a card. Best card here is Agonize and Remorse. These red cards are very whatever, though. I do like the Aspect. I guess it's solid with Hero of the Games as well. Yeah, okay, I'm going to go ahead and take Aspect. Oh no, don't you do that. Don't you even. Alright, might have to pause and regroup with you. Three, two, one. All right. Regrouping as possible, as promised. I do get a second crack at that last pick. I'm still going to take the Aspect. Follow that up with, okay, there's an altar. I do like Soul Guide Lantern. But altar not only ramps me to Kiora, Best the Sea God, geez, I cannot speak. But it also potentially, if I can pick up like 1 Traveler's Amulet here, it gives me the option to splash my best black cards as well, which is quite nice. If this wasn't here, I would take the Soul Guide Lantern, maybe the Skophos War Leader, but this seems solid with what I've got going on. Okay, so if you're a listener of Limited Resources, they kind of poo-pooed on this card. I've seen it actually be quite good, but you do need some pretty aggressive creatures to make it good. Question is, do I want it? I don't have a lot of creatures that really benefit from getting extra power because they're still going to die in combat. In fact, I don't have a lot of creatures at all. There's also Wings of Hubris, which I think sucks. I guess it's pretty good with the Tectonic Giant. I'm going to take it, not be super excited about it. There's an Unknown Shores. All right, I think I'm going to take Unknown Shores. We're just going to go full-on 3-color here. Soul Guide Lantern, another altar. I don't think I want the second altar, though. I would love a Traveler's Amulet, but I don't think I want too many altars here. Stinging Lionfish, I don't actually have a lot of instants either. This Eidolon can come out if we're going to play black cards. Soul Guide Lantern, again, is solid. Let's go and take this Lionfish. Oh, boom, Traveler's Amulet. This would not happen in real life. People love cards like Traveler's Amulet, Golden Egg, Terrarion, Prismatic Lens. Like, people first, second pick those cards sometimes. This would never wheel in real life. So, good to know the bots don't like Traveler's Amulet. I'm going to take another Unknown Shores. I don't think we want 2 Unknown Shores here. I'm going to take an uncommon for the vault. We're not even playing the first of those. Satyrs suck. Fruit. Okay, well, we picked up 3 mana fixers, and we have the best card in the set, and we can play our best black cards, but with the caveat that we probably can't play, like, double black. So the question is there even black cards we want to splash here? Let me go through. Are there blue cards I don't want to play? That's a good question. I kind of want to play, like, the sack outlets. I like Omen of the Dead as well. This deck got really weird really fast. The Portents. Okay, let's go through real quick. Let's just say I add Lampad in there. Add this. That's 40 cards. Probably play Elspeth's Nightmare, although it's not amazing off of a splash because this is good on turn 3. Gets a lot worse later on. How many ways do I have to actually sacrifice creatures to see if these Portents are good? I have Lampad. I have Blood Aspirant. I really don't want to play this Oread. I have a Crowan War, technically. I have Scophos War Leader. So I have 3 creatures that can sacrifice other permanents, essentially. Lampad doesn't seem like it's actually that good to splash. Next question, is Stinging Lionfish good? Probably okay with the 2 whatchamacallits, the 2 omens. I mean, what if we do something like this? We just, what if we go back to like black-red, splash and blue instead? Play 2 islands in the deck. That way, if we ever have 1 island, we can use Traveler's Amulet to go fetch the other one. I don't advise doing what I'm doing right now, by the way. Put this double black card in my deck. No big deal. Whatever. Everything will be fine. The Grim Physicians. Underworld Charger again. I mean, our whole game plan just became get to 7 mana with double blue and draw this card. Another Grim Physician. Like, Grim Physicians do hold the fort down. Farika's Libation is okay, but we picked up a Mire's Grasp and an Omen of the Forge, which is nice. Triumph of Annex, or not Triumph of Annex, but the Crowan War will function as removal some amount of the time. I don't think the Annex card is very good here, or at least we would board this out on the draw, I'm sure. Same as the Underworld Charger. Tempted to just put in the Charger here. Maybe Nyxborn Marauder's fine. Our deck would be pretty good with a Grey Merchant. What do we do this? This gives us 13, 14, 15, 16. Mostly red. This gives us 7 of each of our primary colors. Unknown Shores technically makes it 8. I would count that basically like 7.5. We also have Altar of the Pantheon and Traveler's Amulet, which I would add 1. So that's like 9.5 sources of our main colors. And then we still have the 2 islands, which are going to mess us up. I'm already ready for the draw where I have Timuret plus 2 islands and a mountain in my hand or something like that. Do I want Starlit Mantle? I guess I can board this in against removal heavy decks. I don't think I want Stinging Lionfish. I don't really want the early game blue spells. I don't know that I should be playing Thassa's Intervention either, but it could be pretty good later on. Also, opponent's never going to expect it. Alright, I think this is going to be my deck. We're still kind of the red-black sacrifice deck here. I'm still going to play these portents. We've got a couple questionable cards like the Oread and the Triumph of Annex that I'm not super excited about. I guess I've got decent 2-drops. I can cut this Oread and just play like the Charger and then board that out on the draw as well. I could see cutting the Triumph of Annex for Nyxborn Marauder. Problem with that being that this is another double-colored card in this deck. Triumph. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and ditch the Triumph here. Don't think my deck actually wants it. Alright, double black, double blue, double red. No big deal. I'm not going to play a second Unknown Shores. Drawing those in multiples is not that good. I guess they filter into each other, but whatever. 14, 15, 16, 17. Alright, well, we, oh wait, that's 43 cards. Hold on a second. 14, 15, 16, 17? Yeah, wait, this is too many cards. I need to cut cards. Alright, well, in that case, man, I almost put in a 43 card deck. What happened there? Alright, let me go through real quick. I think maybe I'm supposed to ditch 1 portent. It is a little bit of an expensive combo. Go and take this double black guy out again. Maybe one of the Grim Physicians comes out. We can board it in against decks that it's good against. And then, yeah, I'm going to ditch 1 portent. I think using portent as a removal is not going to come up every single time. But I think it's going to come up enough that it's worth it. Alright, now this is our deck. We've got us a 40-card deck there. With the best card in the set, but we'll see if we're able to cast it. And we've got some other goodies hanging around in our 4-drop slot here between the Tectonic Giant and the Crowan War. Could have gone a bunch of different directions in this draft. Especially that Grey Merchant pick, I think was interesting. Might have been right to take the Grey Merchant, but I don't actually mind having the second Careless Celebrant here because that does kind of put a little bit of a stopper on the board, which lets us get to our more expensive good cards here. So, yeah, Minotaur Kraken Tribal coming up. Hope you enjoyed the draft, even though it really derailed there in the last pack. We had a good thing going, and then we had to go open this stupid card. But, hey, if we cast this card, we're probably going to win. So, let's see if that's true. Thanks for joining me. Match 1 coming right up. All right, welcome to match number 1, where we have islands, swamps, and red cards. I'm going to go ahead and mulligan this, despite having the best card. All right, this is a lot better. Hopefully the Crowan War can help stave off some threats later on, and the Mire's Grasp can take care of an early game creature. This isn't a good hand. It has no pressure on the opponent, so if they just curve out with creatures, we're in a little bit of trouble. Looks like they mulliganed as well. Going to lead off with Swamp in case I draw Decimates. We can play that on turn 2. Ooh, we have a 1-drop. Oh, Traveler's Amulet. Nice. Wouldn't mind drawing my Traveler's Amulet, but don't mind drawing this guy either. So again, this cannot hit players. It can only hit creatures or planeswalkers. Red Black Mirror. Do you think they're also playing Kiora, Best the Sea God? All right, Elspeth's Nightmare was a little bit awkward there because it can't actually hit 2-power creatures. But it's nice to have this Careless Celebrant here. This has to attack, so we're probably just going to trade. I could see potentially Mire's Grasp in this and just holding this up for a later creature, but I think a Crowan War is going to do a good enough job that we don't have to do that. I'm just going to take the trade here. And if my opponent has something like Aspect of Mana Core to keep their creature around, then we can Mire's Grasp them. It is smart of my opponent to do this anyway, force this block while there are no targets for the Careless Celebrant. Alright, Oread, but not cracking the Traveler's Amulet. I'm going to go ahead and get Elspeth's Nightmare out there. Oh, I can even play the Grim Physician too. I didn't even think about that. So, kill a creature while I can with the Nightmare, and then next turn, hopefully just duress a card out of their hand. They're highly incentivized to just cast whatever their best non-creature spell is, if they can. They're a little short on mana. They only have 2 mana this turn, so there's a pretty good chance we're going to get something with Elspeth's Nightmare. And then we exile their graveyard, which gets rid of this stupid thing. Oh no, I didn't... I didn't actually want to get rid of Altar. I would have gotten rid of Farika's Libation there. I don't care about Triumph of Anax. That's annoying. No biggie, though. We'll attack for 1. And go and play Timurat here. So if my opponent plays the Libation and makes me sack an enchantment, I'll go ahead and just get rid of Elspeth's Nightmare, because Timurat's pretty good on board. Timurat can already exile this Ragehound by itself. None of their other cards really do anything. They can play Stampede Rider. Oh, they had enough to get that back, huh? Well, this seems like a good turn for the Crowan War. Hero of the Games. Could also just Mire's Grasp this thing, but if I go a Crowan War here, it doesn't give that creature haste, but it does force... Oh, no, it wouldn't even force their creatures to attack next turn. I think I can hold on to this. Just go Mire's Grasp on this. This also has to attack. I could just trade Grim Physician off for it. If they play the Triumph of Anax, that doesn't do anything. Farika's Libation's not great. I think I'm actually just going to add to the board here and pass. And trade my Grim Physician off for this stupid Underworld Hound or whatever it's called. Oh, I guess they can Farika's Libation now to get rid of Timurat. Didn't think about that. Yeah. It's a little awkward. Okay, well, I haven't played this game particularly well. Yep, they're going to make me sack an enchantment. Sure. That thing has to attack. So if I play this, I attack for 4. Then this has to attack again. Okay, well, this is very sloppy play here, but it's fine. Ooh, Lampad is actually very nice with the Crowan War. So we will go ahead and steal your dude. And attack you for 4. This one, I don't believe any of the black creatures can sack enchantments. This is a little awkward. I might just want to keep cards in hand until this hits the board. Alright, and that will survive the Akroan War. I think I care about this card very much. Alright. Sure. So we want to make sure we have a mana up for the Lampad. Probably just Myers Grasp this thing. Next turn they can play this as a 5/5. So maybe we want to be able to shrink that. Let's see, I could attack 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 this turn, put them down to 7. And then they play this, which is a problematic card. But the Lampad can help against that. They might be able to bring back this Rage Hound again as well. I think I'm just supposed to go in on him here. Do that. Play this. Attack with everything. I guess they get a fight out of this as well. Oh, actually, if they play the enemy this turn, it just dies to the Akroan War, so they can't even actually play that card this turn. Yeah, so I'm going to put on full control mode here, because I don't know if it's actually going to stop me to activate my Lampad here. So I guess I can just do it now to be sure, right? Alright, let's go ahead and sack Rage Hound. This will die. Yeah, we can actually just kill him with the Lampad. Oh, wait, what happened? Oh, it's tapped creatures, right. Shoot. Could attack with everything here. Actually, I can attack with Hero, and if they block, I can sack Grim Physician to make that a trade. That doesn't seem bad. They can bring back Rage Hound, but that's okay. If not, they take 3. Alright. Go ahead and sack this. So put them down to 5. Give that -3. Trade those two off. Now I do just have a Lampad on board, which isn't great. Go and do this now. Get an island. Remember, I have blue cards in my deck. And pass. So this is going to kill my last creature next turn. So I'm not in great shape. They can bring this back this turn, and then next turn the enchantment will kill my creature. 3 other cards from your graveyard. They still have 2 cards in hand as well. I feel like maybe I could have played this a little bit differently. Escape cost is 4, so they can bring back both. I do get 1 more drain out of this. Portent of Betrayal would be a really nice draw here. Because then I can Portent the Rage Hound again. Attack, force them to block. Okay, Omen of the Dead's actually quite nice too. What can I Omen here? Cruel or Careless Celebrant? Remember, they get to fight, right? Target creature you control fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. I wonder if I just want to let that happen, take my hit, and then Omen and Scry. Or do I want to just go ahead and get a creature back now? I could see getting back Careless Celebrant and just playing it. Ooh, actually, you know what? Yeah, no, that's good, because the Lampad can sack the Careless Celebrant. And kill this Rage Hound. Should I do it now, or should I let them choose their target for the fight? Because then they can go Oread fights Careless Celebrant. That's fine, too. I'm going to go and let this happen. Let's see how they target. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and sack this. Deal 2 to this. And do I want to scry on upkeep? Probably. Now, my opponent has a pump spell. That's going to be pretty good. Because then they can stop this from dying. Looks like they're searching for one. Alright. We'll have to keep dealing with the Hound, though. But we did save our Lampad. Soul Reaper's nice. Sack a creature, draw a card. Alright, and then on upkeep, double black. Sure, I'm going to go ahead and scry now. Just searching for action, basically. Aspect of Manticore. Well, if I attack and they block, I get to basically eat a creature here. I have a 3/3 on board. Doesn't feel like they have removal. That might be a fine draw. I guess I could also search for something a little bit better, but that seems fine. If they don't block, they're dead if they don't kill my Lampad. If they double block, still doesn't do anything. I'm going to keep Aspect of Manticore on top and draw it. It's not the best draw in the world, but it's serviceable. Sure, double block incoming. We'll kill Soul Reaper. So my guy's a 3/3 permanently, but it only has first strike this turn. And now it's just a 3/3. They can bring back this Rage Hound, but Rage Hound's not exactly amazing here because it has to attack, so I can just let it attack me and then attack back. This is the third time they played this Rage Hound, though, which is quite nice. Alright, what else do we have here? Another Oread, sure. Get in for one. Pass, Unknown Shores. I'm actually going to hold that in hand and pass here. Do need to draw something. Oh, I should have maybe played this. I guess it doesn't matter. Sure, so dig in. Opponent has drawn a lot of lands. All these cards have gone through. Nice, nice, nice. We've got our opponent at virtual 3 life here, but don't have a good way to get in. Alright, we're going to go ahead and take our 4 here. No blocks. These Oreads do mean my opponent's likely to just keep drawing gas, though. Like gasoline. Impending Doom. Really? That seems like something you don't want to play. Because now if I kill this Oread, they die to the Lampad. Alright. We did not draw something to kill it, though. Alright, I'm going to go and play the Unknown Shores. I'm going to play Underworld Charger, which again can't block. But I can sack it, bring it back, sack it. So let's go ahead and pass. Probably going down to 10 here. Opponent gave me an out. I don't actually have a lot of removal that kills a 4/6, though, for what it's worth. Also, if I Portent of Betrayal to its controller, yeah, if I Portent of Betrayal that thing, it actually dies. Huh. Interesting attack. Oh, this thing has to attack, right? Yeah, attacks each combat available. Okay. Well, opponent's clocking us. Another enemy. Am I going to lose this game? It's pretty crazy. Yeah, might just lose this game. Underworld Rage Hound. Not quite where we want to be, right? This is 5 mana to escape. I think I just want to play my Rage Hound and block with it. Huh. Actually, I want to double block this, but I actually die to those two, don't I? So I have to go block, block. Put my opponent down to 1. Is that right? Alright. You got me. They do have to discard their last card here. They have 6 without that. Alright, discard, draw. Looking for something relevant. I feel like I'm about to lose. I do think I'm going to lose this game because my top deck needs to be something relevant. Let's see how they attack. I mean, they have to attack with those. If they don't send in the flyer, they sent in the flyer. So they can bring back the Rage Hound. Alright, go to blocks. I have to go block here, right? I can't afford to double block this because then I die to those two. I can drain them once, put them down to 1. I'll go up to 9, so I'll survive the hit. If I go double block and I sacrifice, then I don't kill the Oread. Well, I guess we need to hit something that deals damage off the top. That's the game plan. Alright, Lampad. Activate, sack Ragehound. Portent of Betrayal would kill them here. 1 damage short. Lampad sack itself. Take 5 down to 4, and we need the Miracle top deck. Nope. Alright, I'll give you the GG, opponent. I feel like I messed up at some point in that game. Maybe it was with the Akroan War. I feel like I should have had that game. It is game... or best 2 out of 3, though. Let's see. They didn't have a lot of enchantments. Farika's Libation seems decent against those giant flyers. I am on the play. I would like creatures that can beat through a whatchamacallit. Portent of Betrayal actually seems a little awkward, but it is, again, nice to just take their stupid demon and sacrifice it. Could have used another big beater here. The blue mana looked like it was going to work out fine. They didn't have a lot of removal, so Starlit Mantle's not something I'm interested in boarding yet. Grim Physician against the 1/3s, also not that great. Aspect of Lamprey? Lifelink on my creature seemed like it would have been relevant. I didn't draw my best cards that round either. Do I want this 4/3, I guess, is a good question. Just another creature to bash in with. Does Grim Physician look good? It's okay against the 3/1. That's about all it's good against. Hero of the Games is whatever. I mean, they are playing 1/3s and stuff. Kind of like the configuration. Could see cutting Thassa's Intervention if we end up on the draw. The Lampad was good there. It's actually very close to just killing him. Alright, probably don't need that. Probably don't want the hero either. Guess the hero's fine. What did we just board in? What did we actually just put into our deck? Oh, Farika's Libation, right. So this is 40 cards. Question is, do I just want another creature that can attack through their 1/3s and stuff? I probably do, right? Instead of like a pump spell like Aspect of Manicore, maybe I just want another creature that can actually attack into them. Nyxborn Marauder or something along those lines. Don't love the 7/3. Triumph of Anax? Nah, not feeling that. 3/2 better than 4/3? Probably. Okay. Well, just basically bring in Farika's Libation, and I'll see you all in game number 2. Alright, there we go. Traveler's Amulet is going to have to fetch a swamp, which makes Thassa's Intervention awkward. But maybe I can hold off on Traveler's Amulet, right? Maybe I just naturally draw a swamp, and then I can go get my other island, turn this on, get in there with the Underworld Ragehound. Do need to be a little more careful. I feel like I messed up with this card because I thought Chapter 3 was going to do something a little bit different than what it did. Like, I'm going to play this on turn 2, so that gives us a couple more turns to just naturally draw a swamp. They have their own amulet. Oh, mountain, not quite the same. Yeah, let's drop island here, play our 3/1 and pass. Could have used this last game. Just another aggressive creature. We saw how good it was for the opponent. They brought the same one back multiple times. Does attack pretty nicely into these 1/3s. Mountains, huh? Do I go get island? And then I can search for, like, swamp. I can go looking for a swamp. I don't actually have any black cards. I think I'm going to go get island. Am I going to regret this? Oh, I'm instantly going to regret it. That's the correct answer. Just playing my island there, even though I'd rather have more mountains on board. Just because I gave them the information that I fetched up an island. They snap blocked. Thassa's Intervention puts another card in our graveyard too. Soul Guide Lantern. So they're going to go ahead and eat our Underworld Rage Hound. That's fine. That is fine by me. Doesn't add any pressure to the board, and I'm not doing too much, so I think that's okay. Into another Oread. Oreads were pretty good for our opponent our last game. Basically, if I cast this for 4 mana, it's just draw 2. Probably going to do it, though. If they cast something really spooky here, I can just counter it. But I'd rather draw 2 with this. Altar is fine. That's not quite spooky. Go fetch up a land, play land. Alright. This is going fine. Guess I could have countered the altar, but we're not in love with that. Get hit for 1 here. Alright, and then let's look at the top 2 cards of our library and put 2 of those into our hand. X is 2. So 4 mana, draw 2. Oh, those are nice ones. Especially since Elspeth's Nightmare can just gank this thing right now. And I'm going to do that. Opponent has 6 mana next turn, but that demon would not be a very good play for them. Because we have 5 cards in hand. We would just draw up to 6. Alright, let's go ahead and eat your Oread. Nom nom nom. And again, in this position, they're incentivized to play their best non-creature spell, if they have any, right? They've already played a couple, so I wouldn't like fault them for just playing like an Omen and shocking us to the face so that I don't take it away with this Elspeth's Nightmare. Stampede Rider's fine. Just fine. Triumph of Anax, sure. Triumph's okay. Alright, let's see if we get something with that last card. Yoink. Well, 5/4 wasn't a bad draw. Alright, is it a non-creature spell? Is it one of those demons? My money's on Enemy of Enlightenment. Duress you. Alright, it's a Catoblepis. Alright, that's good to know about. Their devotion would be 3 when they play it. So I gotta not just play this out into it, I suppose. I am gonna play my 5/4 though. And this is gonna become a 4/3. Oh, actually, you know what? I can play my 1/3 as long as I hold this up, and then I can kill the Catoblepis in response. So this becomes a 4/3. Could take that trade. Then exile their graveyard next turn. It makes this a lot worse if they don't have creatures to activate it. I don't care too much about my 5/4. Just hope they didn't draw anything super relevant there. Let's see. Thunder and Chariots, nice. Alright, another swamp. So now we're just looking for Kiora, Best the Sea God. I guess this thing's annoying. Alright, exile your graveyard. So I'm going to play Lampad, and then they're going to play Catoblepis. In response, I'm going to Omen the Catoblepis, although they can crew this in addition to that. But then they won't have a target for Chapter 3. They can't, like, crew it or anything before Chapter 3 happens, and then they shouldn't have anything to fight either, unless they draw into something. But they're probably just going to play Catoblepis here. And I'm going to hold lands for the rest of this game, for the most part, in case they do draw the Enemy of Enlightenment. That is the game plan. So they're going to hit me for 3, almost certainly. Oh, and they pumped my dude. Oh, this has first strike, though. Tedious. Alright, so go in full control just in case. Resolve that. Target Lampad. In response, I'll Omen and kill your Catoblepis, and then this will get -1/-1. They can crew still, though. Remember, they have 1 card in hand, but they also have this Soul Guide Lantern, so. And we get to sack our Omen to start digging for Kiora, Best the Sea God. Alright, resolve all of this, take my 3. Homeboy gets -1/-1. And just let him attack, and then we'll go ahead and scry here. Alright, what are we scrying into? There we go. Do I just want this Underworld Charger? Probably not. No, Underworld Charger's fine here. Yeah, we'll just... I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, we're probably just going to win with this. They're not going to be able to deal with an 8/8 hexproof. I have such a high life total. No blocks. Read this card. Did you read it? Because it's pretty ridiculous. I can't even force them to attack into my 8/8. Alright. Alright. Let's see if they want to go ahead and gamble. Alright, I'll play this. I expect a concession. I would concede to this card. I mean, maybe they have something. There it goes. Yep. This card is gonna ruin so many games. They conceded the match? Hold on. Hold up. They conceded the match. We were 1-1. They still have another game to play. Alright. Look, ruining games of Magic. I want to know who designed this card, because you, sir, or ma'am, are a terrible person. I'm not going to complain right now because I have it, but, alright, well, that was match 1. Apparently, all you have to do is cast the spell, and you win the match. It's like one of those Yu-Gi-Oh cards. It's like Victory Dragon. We have Victory Dragon in our deck. Alright, that was fun. Match 2 coming up. Alright, welcome back, ladies and gents. Pretty solid hand. It makes us look like we're playing just a normal red-black deck. Oh, the Grim Physician mirror match? Ooh, Tectonic Giant. We haven't seen that one yet in action. So I'm going to just run out my Grim Physician and trade him off if that's what my opponent wants to do. That way they don't get value out of theirs. Just trade our 1-drop for a 1-drop. Makes sense to me. I guess I can hold on to mine because I do get value out of the land pad. Opponent's playing green-black. Sacrifice from the looks of it. 1-3, save the day. This is a really awesome curve if I draw a mountain. Remember, we said Tectonic Giant into Rage Scarred Berserker is nice. I see. Maybe my opponent had Moss Viper in hand, and they just wanted to get my Grim Physician off the board. That being said, I am going to go ahead and just Elspeth's Nightmare their Moss Viper here. Elspeth's Nightmare has been looking pretty good so far, but it's actually really poor later in the game because your opponent's probably empty-handed. And they might not have a small creature. You might not even care about a small creature. Ooh, they didn't cast anything, and we get to duress them? Hole up. Okay, so it's good to know about this card. I do think this card's pretty sweet. They have a fight spell, and they have an exile any target creature. I think I'm going to just go ahead and ditch the Final Death here, because the Warbriar's Blessing doesn't really work well with this thing. You know, they get to deal 2 damage to something, which isn't good against my creatures. I'm going to play it. Oh, no, I can't actually cast Tectonic Giant this turn. That's awkward. They do have a really good hand. I don't think it's Minions Return, so it's one of these two. I'm just going to pitch the Final Death. I can attack here as well. They could, like, Minions Return back a Piper, but I would consider that a win. It's just one less card we have to worry about. Again, their hand is solid. We missed out on curving out here, but we've still got a pretty solid hand ourselves. I can see an argument for leaving them with the 5-drop and just taking one of their action cards here, but I think the game plan's fine. If we draw a mountain next turn, we'll slam Tectonic Giant anyway. If not, we'll just go ahead and play our Rage Scarred Berserker. Kettleblepp is good to know about here as well. Alright, so they're just going to go ahead and trade for my hero. It seems fine. They get a goat, but they lose their 2-1. So they basically use that as like bone splinters. I guess they get a little bit out of the deal here. Didn't seem like a great trade to me. Crow and War doesn't look amazing here at all. Alright, well, we will go Berserker. And I'm just going to attack for 2 here. I do have a Crow in War plus Lampad if they play a problematic creature here. Yeah, they lost Black Devotion as well, which is something they'd probably want to keep on board. I wonder if they meant to not fight. They're going to eat, I suppose, a creature. Elspeth's Nightmare, okay. Not a lot of ways to get enchantments back. I think I would have gone for a creature there. There we go. Tectonic Giant on board. I can attack with both my creatures. Yeah, this is going very well for us. Our opponent is on 3 life, or 3 lands, so that's something. Shaboom. Lampad's pretty nice to have against this minion's return, because if they go to like flash it on our creature and then kill our creature with something else, then we can just sack that creature in response to the return. Yeah, that game was pretty much over. Best part about that game is they didn't see our blue mana, so they don't know. That being said, we also didn't see a lot of their deck, but Grim Physician looked solid there. They played multiple 3/1 toughness creatures. I don't think Libation looked very good, especially with cards like the Discordant Piper floating around. Portent of Betrayal also. I need to see a little bit more before I want that. I am on the draw here. I'm going to take this Underworld Charger out. I think you should just be in the habit of taking your creature that can't block out. 3/3 that has to attack, essentially, to be relevant, is not bad. But against like 1/1 Death Touchers and stuff, especially when you might be behind, doesn't seem like the type of card you want. Same goes for like Triumph of Anax. If I was playing this in my main deck, I would highly consider boarding it out. I think that's the only cut I'm going to make there. And yeah, we'll go ahead and run it back for game number 2. See you there. Alright, we're back for game number 2. I'm not going to keep this hand. 2 mana 1/1. This isn't much better, but it's something, and I'm not going to go to 5. Alright, Skullful's War Leader, something to work towards, I suppose. Let's go Swamp Amulet, again, leading off with Swamp, so I can potentially play Timurat on turn 2. It's the only double color card I have on turn 2. Elysian Caryatid, I would kill that right now if I could, but unfortunately I cannot. So we are going to play a Lampad. Caryatid's very nice. Being able to add 2 later on does come up. Like, that is still very relevant. Alright, looks like we might be missing a land drop again, though. Nice, nice indeed. Even with the Caryatid. So, I swing for 1, I get hit back for 3. I think I'm just going to hold on defense. Again, I'm going to do this now to give my opponent the least amount of information. I'm going to play an island. That way I'll have my double blue active. I've already got double red and double black in my hand. And then next turn we can go mountain into Tectonic Giant. See if they hit their land in like a Voracious Typhon or something like that here. If they attack, I'll block this Caryatid. I don't care too much about this Lampad. Alright, what do we got? Typhon, Venomous Hierophant. It's a little annoying against my Tectonic Giant, not gonna lie. Yep, green, black. Ooh, this is a nice one. Do think I still want to just play my Tectonic Giant, because I could draw something that just kills this next turn. Yeah, I'm going to use my mana efficiently here. If I need to, I can play Careless Celebrant, sack it to Lampad, and kill that Harpy. They could also just, like, final... Oh, I guess if they target this with Final Death, I get to draw 2 cards, essentially. It'd be really awkward if one of those cards I exiled was a Kiora Best the Sea God, because I wouldn't be able to play it, despite having the mana for it. Grim Physician, nice. Tedious card, but nice. Alright, what do we got? Myers Grasp, that was a very good draw. I think I could just play Skullful's War Leader, but I think what I'm going to do here is play Cruel Celebrant. That way I can interact at instant speed with some of these smaller creatures. And then I'll play Myers Grasp on the Hierophant. Make them interact, I suppose. And then attack with Tectonic Giant if I can. They can cast a 4-mana spell here. They can't cast a 5-mana spell. Minions return, sure. So basically this is just countering my Whatchamacallit. Okay. That's not too big of a deal. Question here is, do I still want to attack with Titanic Giant or Tectonic Giant to get my 2 cards for next turn? Because I do have until the next turn to cast those cards. My opponent's down to 2 cards in hand. Ooh, Voracious Typhon was a very good draw for them. They have 6 other cards. If I trade now, they're going to bring that back as a 7/7. That seems problematic. I guess they don't have enough mana to do that yet. It is 7 mana as well, which they're not super far off from. I think I just want my cards. I think I'm just going to trade the Giant. Yeah, I'm going to get my cards. Careless Celebrant, Swamp. Choose one of them. Oh, you choose... Oh, I didn't realize it worked that way. All right, well, next turn, until my next turn, I can play a Careless Celebrant. Opponent's going to go ahead and block with their 3/3 Death Touch, as you do. Trade those off, and then we do have to dodge this Typhon for a little while. I think this turn I'm going to go ahead and snipe down the Harpy. I could snipe down the Caryatid, actually, and just take 2 more here. Probably should have done that before they untapped, actually. I can do it in combat, though, so they don't have spells. I've also got this Celebrant. I am going to do this in combat so that they can't use that mana second main. I don't care about taking the 2 right now. Oh, the Gift of Strength. Sure. You got me. They know I can do it again. Ooh, that was actually a little bit better, I think. So now I can do both. I can go Celebrant, and we get to hopefully scry into our ridiculous game-winning bomb. I can hold that up, and I can hold up the Lampad activation. I think I'm actually just going to go Omen now to kill the Caryatid. Again, just denying him the mana. It puts him 2 lands off from the Voracious Typhon. Gives us time to find our bomb. And Careless Celebrant can attack on this board. So do I really want to kill this Harpy? Just make sure my opponent can't do that for value. I'm just going to do this now. Kill the Harpy. And I'm going to untap. I'm not going to scry on upkeep because I can play this War Leader, which is pretty solid here. And I think I just play out my hand. Don't think I leave lands at this juncture. And then next turn I can scry on upkeep, I suppose. Again, 7/7 would be pretty strong. Don't have a way to really exile it. Timorate would be a nice draw here. Alright. Scry on upkeep. Can't... Well, actually, I can cast Thassa's Intervention if I draw it. Maybe I want to do this, but Timorate... I'm really looking for Timorate and my blue spells right now. Alright, I'm gonna... I do want to leave up triple black, so I'm gonna go boom, 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 and scry, in the hopes that I hit Timorate and I can snipe that Typhon out of the graveyard. And if I hit my blue spells, I'll just wait on them. Rage Hound, Grim Physician. Those both seem decent. Rage Hound's kind of awkward against this thing. Grim Physician lets me go play Grim Physician, sack it to War Leader, kill your Physician, attack with Menace. But putting these on the bottom gets me closer to my bombs and the cards that I really want to draw here. I can also just attack with this stupid thing anyway. View browser. I think I'm just going to scry both bottom. Not sure if that's correct or not. Okay, well, that's kind of what you get. Alright, I'm going to attack with this War Leader here. See what we're running into. If they have Final Death, that's not the worst thing in the world either. Varika's Libation. Opponent sacrifices a creature. Alright, pretty sure I just sacrificed my Lampad, right? My opponent's trying to get me, so I sacrifice something in response. Alright, let's let that resolve. Sacrifice a land pad. And you're still getting hit for 4 here. Okay, okay. Now, my opponent's in a decent position where lands are good draws for them and spells are good draws. That was also a good draw. Maybe I can just beat down for now. Sure, target the War Leader. Make him use another one of their spells here. And ship turn. A Crow and War would be a solid draw here. Actually, Portent or a Crow and War, because then I don't care if they get this on board. Just sacrifice it. I guess they can bring it back multiple times. Geez, they have cards. Unfortunately, we're not drawing too much here. Go ahead and attack with both. Nothing's really changed since last turn. Sure. Alright, opponent's down to 4. And then just really not hitting lands, but that's annoying because it means they're hitting spells. But they didn't cast a spell the previous turn. Omen of the Dead's nice. They're probably going to get back, what? Scorpion? Do they even have one of those in their graveyard? Oh, they're just going to get the Typhon back now. Could get back the Caryatid as well. Wouldn't mind drawing my own Omen. Ah, the Death Toucher, sure. Agonizing Remorse, Discordant Piper, sure. Alright. Alright, that's not great. Alright, not going to attack anymore. So we are losing this game currently, I think, but we do have very good top decks. Oh, okay, sure, you have Polo-Kranos. I guess I can't complain. I do have a slightly better card than that. Alright, well, we have a turn to draw something, I think. That is not it. And they go fight. Yeah, this game's over. This game is officially over. Read this card. Look at these ridiculous rares in this set. Alright, let's see. So, I can actually block this and turn Polo-Kranos into a 1/1. And I think I'm going to do that because it gives me time. It gives me time. Sorry for the clicking. Mire Triton comes down. I guess if I draw Kiora here, I've still got an out. A Crow and War is not a great draw, though, because of this stupid lamp pad. They can just sack whatever. I can use it to get, like, the Hierophant off board. And it does make the creatures hit themselves a couple turns from now. So I'm going to play it. And I can't activate Polo-Kranos, so that's not great. My opponent should let me target here. I guess I just want to take this 3/3. And then if my opponent wants to go ahead and sack it in response, then sure. Return to nature, the Crowan War. Okay. Respectable. Good to know about Return to Nature. That actually can beat Kiora Abyss, the Sea God. Alright, we'll give it one more turn here, and then I'll go ahead and scoop. I'm actually just might be dead on board to this land pad. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, we're actually dead. Opponent playing around a hasty creature there. Nicely played, nicely played. So 1-1 against Polo-Kranos. Let's see what kind of graveyard hate we have floating around. Do we have a Harpy? I don't know if we have a Harpy or not. We do not. Also, I do want to be careful of too many expensive enchantment creatures. I really don't have any, so I think that's fine. Portents do seem good here against the big doofuses. Starlight Mantle? Doesn't seem great. Farika's Libation? Again, seems pretty bad against an aggressive deck. Aspect of Lamprey is not amazing against a deck that has escaped creatures. 4/3. Triumph of Anax. Oread. Maybe I should be playing Oread to just help dig. Because we did get a little bit flooded there. Portent seems really good with Polo-Kranos. I kind of like the deck the way it is. I didn't see a lot of removal from them. They have a Gift of Strength in their deck. They have a Final Death. That was, what, the only removal I saw, right? Oh, they have the Warbrier's Blessing as well. Starlit Mantle's fine against those. Just don't think Portent's good. It's good against Polokranos and the Voracious Typhon. It's not very good against other stuff, but it is just a removal spell in our deck for the most part, and we are on the play here. Aspect's fine. Guess I have a very low creature count. Not very low, but low enough. Aspect. Might ditch the Aspect here in favor of another Portent. Yeah, let's go ahead and roll with that. All right, game 3 coming up. All right, we are on the play. We have a 2-drop and a removal spell for an early game creature. Plus, if we draw a land, we have the Altar, but we're on the play with 2 lands. We might not draw another land. I'm going to keep and just, kind of hope I get there. Careless Celebrant seems fine here. I do wish I had a little bit more graveyard. Hey, I thought I picked up a Scavenging Harpy, but I guess not. All right, that's fine. Third land's okay as well. I'm going to go and play Celebrant here. Intending to Omen the Moss Viper, but we'll see. Careless Celebrant can also just trade off for it. Oh, well, that's annoying. They're going to take the Altar, maybe? Choose a non-land so they can take the Omen or the Altar. I hope they take the Omen and keep me with the Altar, honestly. Okay, sure. Respectable. And if they attack for 1, which they won't, because I'll attack them back for 2, that's fine. All right, let's go Altar, Grim Physician, pass. Next turn, if we really need to, we can go Lampad, sack Physician to kill Moss Viper. But this is not a win in hand by any means. Relentless Pursuit. Bricked on a creature, so this was 3 mana, draw a land, put 3 lands in the graveyard. Which still might be fine if that's all they're looking for. Alright, well, change of plans. We can actually just play this thing this turn. Give this +1 and attack with... I guess attack with both. Although this gets value out of the Lampad, otherwise they just trade off. Yeah, I'll just attack for 3 here. Because if I attack now, then they block, right? And that's that. Or I can use the Lampad, get that out of the way, and just gain an extra life. I could also play Elspeth's Nightmare here. It's not the worst. I kind of like the Lampad plan, but Elspeth's Nightmare is better as the game goes on. I can also just play Lampad second main. Let's see if they want a Gift of Strength in response here. If so, I don't have a good attack. Alright. Could attack with the Celebrant, but this is a fine play next turn. We get to duress them as well, so if they go like untap, land, final death you, then that's all well and good. Do need our top decks to be pretty nice to us here, I think. Alright, let's see what Elspeth's Nightmare reveals. Because we drew a blank. Omen of the Dead, sure. They're just running that out there to scry, essentially. Something else? Oh, they're on all lands. Okay. Well, that's not bad news for us. That means we're going to push hard here. Sack the Grim Physician. Kill your Moss Viper. Attack for 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're going to exile this graveyard, which matters a lot in their deck. So they do get to scry here. They get a pretty good shot at trying to find something good. I'm going to go and just play my land out here. Alright, let's see how their scry goes. Because remember, this Lampad has them at a virtual 4 life. 2 bottom, okay. Untap, draw. Land. Alright, I guess they drew nothing. Ooh, and we drew Portent off the top anyway. Well, they flooded extremely hard there. Like, super hard. So, I almost feel bad. They drew, what, 2 spells? And their Relentless Pursuit hit 4 lands. Like, that's kind of ridiculous. But whatever. I'm not going to complain. We beat Polokranos fair and square. That puts us at 2-0 with our Kiora sacrifice deck, whatever you want to call it. And we'll roll right on into match number 3, hoping to win a 3rd match to make our gems back. I'm already pretty happy with the draft. I'm having fun with it. So, let me know if you're having fun, and I'll see you all in match number 3. All right, welcome back. We just became a mono red deck. I like this curve of Underworld, Ragehound into Mana Core if they put something in the way. This basically eats a creature, probably, and then forces them to trade off another creature, and then we follow up with Tectonic Giant. We're on the play against Bask. It's a little bit of an awkward hand, but Unknown Shores does kind of, it's the rug. It pulls the whole room together here. If we draw some black spells, we'd probably cast them. It is the last land I want to play out here, though. I'm going to play all my colored lands first. Any 4th land gives me this Tectonic Giant on turn 4, and then I can follow up with the Akroan War and get a blocker out of the way. So we just want to draw any land in the next 4 turns, preferably Island or Swamp. Since Unknown Shores does make Kiora Best the Sea God an 8-drop, which is awkward. Alright, so I'm going to go attack, and then I'll just aspect this thing. Could even just let that happen, but this makes him basically trade off another thing next turn with my Ragehound, and it already gets us to 1 card when it dies because the aspect will go to the graveyard. This was basically a shock, but they didn't take any damage, so it's not amazing either. If I draw a land, maybe I just want to Akroan War here. Bash for 5. Did not draw a land. Alright. Did not draw a land, so I think I just go, they can't block. Underworld Charger can't block. Right. So I'll play a 2-mana Grim Physician and pass. Alright. That's a pretty good scenario here. Not going to block. Land off the top, please. Please, 1 time. Temple Thief again. Opponent likes some Temple Thieves. Okay. Wow, 5-drop? Why do you hate me? Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and attack with this. Anticipating a block. Could even Omen of the Dead it back. Sure. Man, this hand would have been insane with a 4th land. Didn't even matter what land it was. I guess I could have attacked with this as well. Alright, I'm going to go and pass here. Opponent has some sort of instant speed interaction there. Gray Merchant for 3, solid. Gary. Alright, here comes the 3. I'm going to let that happen. God, we had like a perfect hand and then we just kind of stumbled. I'm going to get back my 3-1 in case I need to play it as a blocker. It's not amazing, but it lets me do something with my mana here. Alright, game's not over. So I can Akroan War, take Gary, that doesn't do much. I can play Tectonic Giant, make him use their first removal spell of the game. Akroan War does eventually kill this thing. It does not eventually kill Gray Merchant. I think I'm just going to play my best card here and pass. Remember, Underworld Charger can't block it. And if I draw a land, we got the Rage Scarred Berserker combo. Yeah, I'm not going to run into a combat trick here. I think I just want to block 3 damage. I am chumping, but it's not great. Let's see what happens. This swings for 6. It might be right to just play the Akroan War to get my opponent off my back here. It feels like they have like maybe their own aspect or a pump spell of their own. Maybe a 2 damage spell and they're like a deal 2 or something like that. We got something going on here. Oh, aspect of Mana Core on the Gray Merchant. Okay, that's interesting. So now I'm going to Akroan War that thing. It will still be tapped, which is annoying. Maybe I don't have to. Let's see, is it good to just play Rage Scarred Berserker, or is it good to just go ahead and use the Akroan War here, snipe them off a creature, maybe even block here, and just force them to use a trick? I think this is safer, actually. Yeah, I think I like this a little bit better. Oh, aspect of Mana Core. Oh no, this is not enchant creature you control. Yeah, I just want the thing that can block. It can't block this turn. How risky is it to attack with this and then take 3? My opponent had a pretty all-in attack there. Do they have like another Gray Merchant or something? I want my cards. Let's just try to bash them. I'm going to deal 3 to each opponent here. So, presumably dealing 6. And then let's see if they've got something that just kills us here. While I find my charger. Alright, 3 coming in. Looks like some pump spells. Alright, we have +2. And we have another +2. Oh, Infuriate. Okay, well, looks like blocking was the better bet there. But, I mean, if my opponent's going to be on all instant speed tricks, I think we can beat that. We've got chump blockers for days. Yeah. Oh, there goes my computer being loud as can be. Portent seems good here. Farika's Libation does seem good against people going all in on the aspects. Aspect of Lamprey a little bit less against the instant speed tricks, I think. So, on the play, still like my Underworld Charger. Maybe I don't like the Underworld Charger. I'm probably just going to want to block this game. Aspect of Mana Core, I guess at least trades for other aspects. Maybe I just don't need the other Portent. Keep doing this. I do like the Farika's Libation, so we're going to cut something for that. Why did that go there? I like my top-end creatures. I like this 4-drop slot. I guess I can just pitch the Underworld Charger since it can't block, and it looks like I might want to block here. Alright, we will see you all in game number 2. Yeah, check it out, boys. Thassa's Intervention. Alright, we have Blood Aspirant, and we have a Portent, and we don't have really anything else going on here. This is a dead card, so it's kind of like a mulligan already. This doesn't do anything because we don't have other things to sack. I think this is a mulligan despite having my mana. This is a little bit better. Opponent mold as well. We get to go Timuret into Omen of the Forge. Granted, they showed us high toughness creatures that the Omen doesn't kill, but Timuret's a nice start, I suppose. Yeah, opponent also mulliganed. The Grimmest of the Physicians. Sure. I don't have my sound on, but when you play Timuret, he just screams at you for no reason. It's like the new Doom Whisperer. Alright, Timuret. I'm not blocking. My opponent's probably going to play a 2-drop then if they're willing to make that trade. Incendiary Oracle. This is a nice card. Nice. No way to sack this Celebrant, though. But what I can do is go Alter, which bumps my toughness, and then pass. Do have to hope a little bit that they don't have a way to kill this now, I suppose. Incendiary Oracle. This is the one I was talking about. It looks like the Oread. Just two 2-mana red cards that look very similar. Alright, so they can't actually attack here. They probably could have bluff attacked with this at least. I can play Careless Celebrant, which is a solid blocker here. And then pass. Although, this can't block Incendiary Oracle. It gets exiled instead, so I won't get the death trigger. So that's worth noting here. My hand's not good, though, which is a problem. I'm kind of banking on this Omen here. Alright. Ooh, they have a removal spell? Because that would suck. Alright, let's see what the attack looks like. If they attack with the Charger, I'm just going to block with the Celebrant. And then I will eat that on end step with Timuret. Sure. Omen of the Forge seems good against Oracle. Not as good against the second Oracle, but still fine. Alright, let's go ahead and eat this Underworld Charger. Nom nom nom. Life gains relevant here. Ooh, Grim Physician. Another one that's really awkward against these stupid oracles. Does up my Timuret count, though. So we're going to go Unknown Shores, Physician, pass. And then what I'm hoping happens is I'll block an Incendiary Oracle, they pump it twice, and then I can get him with the Omen. in response. I can even sack the Omen on end step to scry. I assume these two Oracles are attacking. Unfortunately, Grim Physician can't trade off for the Oracle. Same reason the Celebrant doesn't really do it. Opponent could play it safe here, too. I mean, they have Aspect of Mana Cores or whatever in their deck. This just kind of owns that right now, since it doesn't pump Toughness. This is +1/+0 as well. I will take damage off the other Incendiary Oracle, though. And they do have to use 4 mana to pump this. I guess they could have Infuriate. That would be annoying. Alright, well, I'm going to go for it, and if they have Infuriate, that's tedious, but it's fine. Doesn't look like they have it. And we can exile that out of the graveyard. So we're going to take 2, but gain 1 back. Oh, actually, I just want to crack this. I don't even want to exile here. I just want to set up my draws. Yep, bottom. Don't want that island. I already have Altar plus whatchamacallit. Drew the other island, though. Nice. Double black. Get out of here. Why would you do that? And now the question is, do I want to just trade off Timuret for this Oracle? I don't have good attacks. This can hit me for like 4. Hit them back for 2. I'm going to keep that in hand, I think. Yeah, we do need to draw something else. These Oracles are quite nice against my Physicians. I'm just going to... No, I'll go ahead and attack with Timuret. I'm not going to block with it this turn. I guess they could have blocked with their Physician and killed my Physician. They didn't even really think about that, to be honest. Opponent with 2 cards in hand, but they can pump this Oracle. Lampad, sure. Lampad's respectable. They are down to 1 card. I have pretty good top decks here. I could play Kiora Best the Sea God if I draw it. Maybe I want to watch out for Aspect of Lamprey and just play my cards out so I don't lose that option. Even just like a big creature here is nice. Oh, they are going to kill my Physician. Sure, so that dies, and I'll just go ahead and shrink their Oracle for the turn. I lose a life off this, but I save a damage off this, so it doesn't really change how much damage I'm taking. I will go ahead and just eat this now. Alright, so I'm going to take 2 here down to, I guess, 18. Sure. Guess if I draw a removal spell for this, I'm in pretty good shape. Mire's Grasp or something. Do need to draw something, though. Oh, Elspeth's Nightmare. That's not a bad one. Yeah, I'm just going to take out the Incendiary Oracle. It's the biggest pest for my deck. They're going to sack it in response. Oh, no, they don't want to sack it in response. They want me to target first. Yep, so they get a life drain out of this. They could have Agonize and Remorse. It makes my island better. I'm going to play the island here. Alright, pass turn. Can do that at any time. Duress probably won't matter here. They have 1 card left. Feels like we're at a little bit of a stalemate, but we are going to... I mean, their graveyard's already going to be exiled. That won't even matter. So if this is something worth casting, they either cast it now or they lose it. Like, if it's an Aspect of Mana Core, they just want to run it out there. Which would be good for me. Let's go ahead and eat this Oracle. Can eat cards out of my graveyard for what it's worth, but I do have a couple ways to use those, so I don't want to unless I really need to gain the life. Swamp was not a good draw. Let's see what that card is. If it's Aspect of Mana Core, yeah, that's nice because... Oh, I guess it's not as nice. This is actually going to lose a toughness when the Elspeth's Nightmare goes away. So they do get to start bashing for 3. But they were forced to run that out as just a mediocre trick. Alright. I do get a block this turn. If they attack, I'm not going to block. Nice. Alright, and then now Timuret will become a weaker Careless Celebrant. Sure. Careless Celebrant does block and trade for this thing. Wow, they do not want to tap. Alright, ship the turn. So again, at a little bit of a stalemate here. I feel like I'm in pretty good shape. I have good top decks. Opponent doesn't have too much going on there. Feels like they've got a kind of dead card in their hand. Their graveyard shenanigans are neutered by Timuret, which, again, Timuret's not like a huge force on board, but just being able to shut down all escape cards is very nice. I can attack with my Celebrant if I really want to. That's a good draw. Can this sack itself? Yes, it can. Do I want a Crowan War just to kill this? That's the question. Probably. And then they can't play creatures that have higher power than toughness. Or do I hold it? I think I'm going to play it. Just kill their creature and start attacking. And I mean, they can sack it in response, right? But no big whoop. It does shut down any more pump spells they might have. Alright, target. Sack your creature. Oh, they let me keep it? No, this can sack itself. I don't think my opponent knew that. Alright, instant speed stuff. Is there anything going on here? No, it doesn't look like it. Yeah, so I can actually just make this eat itself before Chapter 3. My opponent could have denied me having it and had the little 1-point life swing there. It does add Devotion for now as well, which is kind of cool. And I can use this as a sack outlet to eat this Celebrant if they play something else. So Chapter 2 will happen. It's not going to do anything because I don't have any creatures on board. I'm going to play my Lampad. Just pump up Timuret a little bit more here. And attack for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So again, next turn, all creatures my opponents control? No, each tapped creature is going to deal damage to itself equal to its power. So that won't matter. My opponent, anything they play is going to be tapped here. But I do want to make sure I sack this Lampad before that resolves. Temple Thief. I forgot they had Temple Thieves in their deck. Alright, so pass turn. I will sack this Lampad to it. Actually, you know what? My opponent might not know the Lampads can sack each other, or sack themselves, so I'm going to use this Lampad to sack that one. And do I want to Careless Celebrant here? No. Ragehound's a nice one. I think I'm just going to attack with Timuret here, and if they try anything, I can use the Careless Celebrant to kill this Temple Thief. Otherwise, they block here, and then they go for a trick. I guess it doesn't matter, right? This lets me hold this as an interaction. You can play my 3-1 next turn. Okay. So they've got to have, like, double pump here or something. So this feels like they have another trick as well, which would be very good. So they have a way to keep their Temple Thief on board. Sure, resolve that. No, they just blew the aspect. Interesting. They did block, though. Okay. And I am going to play my Swamp out now because I have a lot to do with my mana with the Ragehound. Actually, yeah, you know what? I'm going to sack the Ragehound and then replay it as a 4-2 here. Gets a point of damage in and gives me a stronger creature on board. 1, 2, 3. Boom, double Ragehound, 1 turn. That might not have been right. So I do like my odds against this sort of deck because they are kind of like suit up one creature. Their creatures are pretty weak, minus the Incendiary Oracles or whatever. And they're looking to use the enchantments to push them over the top and get in. That being said, if I can just use my tricks and stuff wisely, that doesn't seem like it's too big of a problem. The Incendiary Oracles are an issue, though. I don't really want to bring in more enchantment creatures either, because they have the Temple Thieves, and I don't want them to just, like, cheese us or anything. The Portents could be a game plan to get out of a tough situation. I still think Freaka's Libation's nice. My own aspect of Mana Core doesn't seem fantastic either. Yeah, like, I don't really want to bring this in because they have Temple Thieves, and if they just have the right kind of aggressive draw and this is my answer, it's not going to do that much. Underworld Charger doesn't do much. Grim Physician is good against the 2/2s, but it's pretty bad against the Oracles. So I'm wondering, I probably just don't change anything at all here. I've got enough ways to interact that I think it'll be fine, and I'll just run it back for game number 3. Alright, we are back for game number 3 with a pretty solid hand. We've got all of our colors. We've got a creature I don't mind trading off, removal spell. Lampad has been pretty good in most of my matches so far. It's not exactly the creature I want here, but it is nice. Again, leading off with the Swamp in case we draw Decimates. But I would probably still play this Rage Hound, I think. Let's see what they got. Incendiary Oracle is kind of annoying against this thing, isn't it? Yeah, I'll just Myers Grasp this. Although I do kind of want him to go all in on an Oracle. Like, okay, let's say I play Mountain here, and then I play this thing, and then they attack, I block, they go Aspect to kill this, it gets exiled, and the next turn I just Myers Grasp them. I lose being able to escape this. Yeah, I do lose the option to escape this later on, and my hand's not exactly set up for the late game. Do I just Myers Grasp this right now and then play this next turn? Or do I try to trade it off and just accept that it gets exiled here? If they go Aspect on this, and then I untap and Myers Grasp them, that puts me in a pretty good spot, I think, though. They could also just pass the turn. I think I'm just going to Myers Grasp this while I can. I would rather try and make that trade with something like a Temple Thief so that I can replay this later on. Speak of the Devil. No land from the opponent. Freaka's Libation's very nice against them, though. Let's go ahead and go Swamp into... I will play the Rage Hound here because the Lampad can't block. The problem with them having no land means they're on all spells. So they probably have a bunch of tricks and stuff, but I can probably blow them out at least once with Libation, and I'm on point to cast this thing on curve, which is nice. So let's see. If they attack this turn, I will not block, because I would rather use this as a trick. Underworld Charger. Does make that a little bit more awkward. Ooh, can't cast it. Ugh, stupid islands. Alright, well, let's go ahead and attack because we have to. See if they want to block. They do not. Respectable. I will go, I guess, Swamp. And hold up Libation or play Lampad. They're going to attack for 5, which is kind of nice for them. Alright, I'm just going to go and play this thing and pass. So I guess we're racing. They're going to hit me for 5. I can't block any of it. Libation gets a little bit worse now that they have other creatures on board. But I can play Rage Scarred Berserker next turn, which will save this from a block. And it's a pretty decent blocker itself. Alright, what's the follow-up? Another Underworld Charger, sure. Alright, well, sure. Let's play an island here in case we draw another island. So, question is, what are we berserking? Are we blocking with this? We're not going to chump, or we can't block this. So we're probably going to attack with it. Do they trade here? Maybe. I'm going to go ahead and just suit up the Lampad, I think. Because I'm not going to block with the Lampad. This is going to be a close game, I think. Because I don't think I'm blocking next turn with this either. It's just so bad if I block and they go Aspect. Whereas the turn after, if I block and they go Aspect, I can at least like Freaka's Libation to make them sack the enchantment, and then they lose the +2/+0. They would need another trick to get through. Tectonic Giant, I guess, is a fine blocker here as well. Yeah, this is dicey. Having this thing forced attack isn't great because I would like to trade it off for a charger if I can. And they've got 4 spells in hand, presumably. Alright, well, them not attacking with this is a little weird. But these things can't block, so it feels like they want to attack. I'm just going to take 6 here. I don't know what I'm expecting, but I'm going to take the 6. And I guess I'm looking for... I don't know what I'm looking for here. Something like, I guess my Careless Celebrants would be pretty nice. Because I can play them and sack them. Okay, we've got an Oracle, sure. This is not an enchantment creature. Alright, so question now is, do I go Tectonic Giant? Let's go and attack with Rage Hound. I could see them blocking with Oracle here, potentially, just to exile my Rage Hound. Sure. They go for that. Do they have a trick to go with it as well? No, so just trade and exile my Hound. Alright, Tectonic Giant is good, but how good? I mean, if I get this on board and I survive another turn, that's fine, but I feel like it's a Farika's Libation turn. Because I feel like what's going to happen is they're going to attack with these, but they didn't attack with this last turn and I was tapped out, so do they have Aspect? If they had Infuriate, these become 5 or 6/5, so they would actually just eat this. Feels like maybe they have Infuriate. So I'm going to play Tectonic Giant because Infuriate doesn't actually get me through. And then I'm guessing what I'm going to do here is go block with my 2 big guys. Could also chump block with the Lampad, because getting to attack with the Tectonic Giant's nice. I don't want to just not block here and die to a couple spells again. Alright, let's see what happens. They have 5 mana. Yeah. I'm a little bit at the mercy of what they've got. These chargers should be attacking. I'm probably just going to chump with the Lampad, I think, and then block with the Runescarred Berserker. They can't quite bring back a charger yet, can they? No, they would need to put another card in the graveyard. Not too hard for them to do, I don't think. Alright. So, go block. Am I really in chump block mode here? I mean, the Lampad can sack itself. Alright, Aspect incoming, sure. That's good. I'm going to lose both my creatures. And then I just have the Tectonic Giant. I might not even be in a position where I can attack with it. Alright. Sack some creatures. Yeah, I think I'm going to lose this one. Libation looks really bad here against this 2/2. Sack itself. Can't even cast Kiora, Best the Sea God if I draw it. Omen of the Dead. Alright, well. So, 2 cards in hand. I can Omen for Rage Scarred Berserker, and then go for the same play next turn and just go block. Libation just makes him sack this. Could also attack with Tectonic Giant and see if I get a relevant card here. This is tough. I think I'm going to go Omen, get back Rage Scarred Berserker, play it. But I could see attacking with the Giant and looking for... What am I looking for is the question. A Crow in War. I don't have a way to sack a creature, so something like a Portent of Betrayal is not good. I'm just going to go for the... Just try to block my opponent a little bit here. Could go for a smaller creature as well and hold up the Libation to get rid of the enchantment, but I feel like my opponent has another pump or something in hand. We'll bluff the Infuriate. Alright, are we attacking with the Giant? I don't think so. I think I'm just going to go block, block. And that's pretty bad against another Aspect, because it eats my board. But I will trade off a creature. I mean, if Temple Thief gets in there, it's pretty straightforward that they have another Aspect. We've seen, what, at least 3 of them? If they only attack with the 5/3, I'll attack with the 5, or I'll block with the 5/4. But then they can bring this back because the Aspect will go to the graveyard. Could also see Taken 5. Scry on upkeep seems pretty important. Timuret would be a good draw here. The 3/3 and the 5/3 coming in. Alright. So if we're suspecting another Aspect, I think I'm supposed to just block here. Then they bring that back as a 5/5. Could also go block, block. And then they go Aspect here, and we trade here, but then they bring that back as a 5/5 anyway. So I can't really afford to play around the cards in their hand. So if I eat this, I take 5, they bring that back as a 5/5. I still have my board presence. Oh, they would actually need another card in their graveyard. This is 5, 6, 7, 8. So I die to Infuriate if I don't block. I don't think Tectonic Giant's getting too much better here. I'm just going to go ahead and block like this. Let them use their trick to kill one of my creatures. And then, sure, Infuriate's fine. Alright, so my board dies. Oh, and they have enough to bring back Underworld Charger. So yeah, Infuriate was pretty best case scenario there. If I draw a spell that kills Temple Thief, that's not the worst. Because I can go kill Temple Thief and then Farika's Libation and make you lose one of your creatures. But I need to draw something right now, and I don't think I have too good of an answer. So let's go 1, 2, 3, Scry, Resolve. Thassa's Intervention is not what we want. Even a decent blocker here. Elspeth's Nightmare, well, okay, this isn't great because I'm going to take 8. But Elspeth's Nightmare is going to go ahead and kill Temple Thief, which means this kills something else next turn. And maybe if I draw a blocker and I'm not dead here. That's fine. Oh, Phoenix of Ash. Alright, you got us. Didn't see that coming. Alright, that was rough. The Libation looked pretty bad there. Unfortunately, we did not have the cards to blow them out with their tricks that time. Still think it went fairly well there. We're at 2-1, so again, we're trying to scrap together that third win before we take that second loss, but I think we can do it. Our deck is solid. Just need a little bit more luck on our side. So match 4 coming up. Alright, welcome back. If one of these swamps was a mountain or a Traveler's Amulet, I would keep this, but yeah, this is a lot better. This hand's actually kind of dorky, though. They just block, block, and then I have nothing going on. Ooh, I messed up. Should have played the swamp. Alright. Altar of the Pantheon's a little lackluster of a draw there. Just going to play Hero, though. My opponent's going to play something and trade off, I assume. Careless Celebrant's fine. So I do play this next turn, because then next turn I can go Altar plus Celebrant. Let's see if they block here. Nope, opponent wants to race. Hero of the Games. This card's pretty bad in our deck, right? Yeah. Against red-white... I will not block. Alright, into a 2/4. Nice. Very nice. I like how I have this 3/1. I can't even like really bluff the attack here with this, because then they just eat this and then next turn I have to attack. Well, 3/1's getting eaten by their 2/4. That's not ideal. And then my hand is pretty terrible here. Good news is Ragehound comes back. Let's go and go Altar into Celebrant. Pass the turn. Just getting completely crushed out of the gates here. Oh, I'm fine with this trade. Probably even fine with that. No, I have this Grim Physician for this thing. I could go block. That's the same as trading across. Doesn't really make too much of a difference. Then they follow up with something relevant. I hate relevant cards. I'm just gonna block here and try to trade for the Courser, because I have the Grim Physician to deal with this. Alright, what's the follow-up? Flummoxed Cyclops, sure. Omen of the Forge is solid, but not great. So this is fine. I can go block, and then kill off both their creatures. Although they're at the point where they probably got tricks in hand. I have an Omen of the Forge. I guess that's relevant. But I'm somehow expended my entire hand while they have one card in their graveyard. I guess because the Altar's not really doing anything here. Alright, Heliod's Punishment. I think this card sucks, but it's going to be good here. I can kill Flummoxed Cyclops as well. So I'm going to go block here. Give that -1. And then end of turn, I will Omen it. Let's see if they have instant speed interaction. Flummoxed. Nope. Alright, guess I didn't want to scry. I can escape my Rage Hound. Which I'm... Can I not? Oh no, it is one of the cards in my graveyard. Whoops. So if I play land, which I'm gonna do, it's 1, 2, 3 to crack the Omen. Nope, I can't do that this turn. So I have to just accept taking another 3 here. Alseid is fine. It's gonna be a little bit annoying later on because it lets a creature just push in damage. They're down to 2 though. Alright, we'll go ahead and take our damage, take our licks. Sunmane Pegasus is good. We're just getting slaughtered this game. Not even close, really. Need a mire here. Careless Celebrant. Is that good enough? It's probably pretty good. Although they give this unblockable, essentially. Is there a better draw? I don't want the Swamp, I know that much. And I can't kill the Sunmane, which is also a problem. I think that's not good enough. I think I need to search for a way to, straight up kill this thing. I guess that's respectable. Forces them to have something for this. Yeah, we're not in good shape here. They could give this pro-black and attack for 5 this turn. Also, I guess removal doesn't do it at this point because the Alseid can save it from basically anything. So I think we're just dead this game. Even if I draw a very good card off the top, I'm not sure what would get me out of this situation past the Alseid. I mean, this has to block now. I mean, this has to attack, I should say. I mean, if they have nothing in hand, maybe it's not too big a deal, but I still need, double removal spell to somehow kill this thing. Oh, okay. So they're going to make a 5/1. And if I block here, I take 2, 3, 8. So I have to block this thing. And they trample a damage, yeah. Blood Aspirant is late to the party. Alright, so we got beat down. This surprisingly might actually not be the type of game that we want Kiora Best the Sea God, but if we cast that card, we just win the game against something like this. They can't beat an 8/8 Hexproof unless we're already at 4 life and they have a Sunmane Pegasus. So I think it's still fine to have that in there. The Grim Physician seems a lot better here. The Oriad even seems decent against the Lifelinker. I just really want to lower the curve if possible. The Portent plan is probably slow and not great. Farika's Libation also, this card is not great against aggro decks. as we saw in the last game. They usually just have like a dork sitting around that eats the Pharika's Libation. Aspect of Lamprey could be nice if we stick it on a creature, but we're going to be trading off a lot. And then the 4/3 also seems respectable. Could see ditching Thassa's Intervention and just keeping Kiora as a win con there. Ugh. Alright, do I want Aspect of Lamprey? I don't really have good creatures to put it on, unfortunately. Doesn't pump power or toughness. Alright, I think this is just going to be the game plan, and we'll try to Aristocrats him out. So, if we lose, we're out, but game 2 coming up. Alright, we had a lot of these hands. I'm going to keep this. The 3/1 looked bad last game, but only really against the 2/4. If it actually trades off for a creature, that's not the worst thing in the world. It's just the 2/4 in particular that was really nasty. I'm still going to play it here on turn 2 and pass. Just try to beat down past the opponent. Yep, you got it. Attack. We've drawn 2 lands as well, so I think we're probably down and out for the count here, boys. This doesn't feel like a hand that can win. Like, I have no spells now. I have nothing. I don't have anything that even goes to the graveyard for this. So I'm basically at the mercy of my top decks, or the mercy of my opponent not drawing stuff. That helps a little bit. Blood Aspirant's not great either, though. Alright, let's attack and play Bloody Boy. I guess, yeah, that's how we get in this sort of game, is our opponent bricks a little bit on lands, and then we maybe draw into some relevant spells. But it does, again, mean that they're on all spells. Alright, Timuret's a good draw, so I can play Timuret and start exiling cards. I'm still only dealing 2 a turn, though. Alright, you're up, opponent. We can eat that stupid Rage Hound, which is nice. Yeah. Let's go ahead and nom those. Get Rage Hound out of the deal, and then they go to clean up. Oh, they had the stupid thing, too. Alright, oh, this gets +1 off Traveler's Amulet. That's kind of cool. Let's go colorless. Trying to keep my black mana up for Timuret here. Sack that. Blood Aspirant triggers and deal 5 to my opponent. Still not pressuring them a lot. Let's get an island here. And attack for 5. Pass turn. Alright, anything yet? Opponent? No. Alright. Well, you can see our hand, like, it's turn 6 and our board kind of sucks. So if they had a normal hand, we'd probably just lose in that game. That being said, they give us a second shot at life here, so we're going to be on the draw. Do I want Libation on the draw? I mean, anything that kills a creature is probably okay. Or, yeah, it's probably fine on the draw here. Didn't even really consider that, but Underworld Charger can come out. I just don't want that card. And I think this is what I'm going to play. Just play it a little bit more defensive, try to trade off, and then stick big creatures and find some sort of win con with, like, our Giant or our Kiora. But game 3 coming up. Alright, we're back. This hand is good. It's not great against flyers. It's also all on 1 color of mana, which is awkward as all hell. But if they play like the 3/1, I've got a good way to deal with it. I might just save Timuret for turn 3, I guess. Alright, let's go. They're going to attack here. We'll just block and snap it off, right? Am I going to play Timuret or the Lampad? I think I'm just going to play Timuret here. Yeah, I'll play Timuret. As much as I want to protect Timuret, not sure that they have creatures, or if they're going to kill it or not, and just being able to block and eat that Rage Hound seems good here. I mean, I could see them using a trick to keep their Rage Hound around. Rage Hound around. Could also not block there and do the same thing we did that last game with the Lampad. Death Evangel, that's a nice one. I'm going to play my boy here and just pass. So if a creature dies and they have an enchantment on that creature, an aura on that creature, they get to get a creature back from their graveyard to their hand with power 2 or less. So looks like they've got a little bit more of an aura theme than we've seen so far. Alcide's nice. Ooh, that's a pretty good combo with Dawn, Evangel. And untap. Jeez. I need to draw relevant spells here because my hand's not good. I mean, the 4/5's fine. They're not dealing a lot of damage here, but if they have something like Iroas's Blessing, Sentinel Eyes, okay. That's solid. It only gets in an extra point of damage here, so it's not like a big deal. But it is just a way to make Dawn Evangel tick. Granted, Timurit's pretty good against Dawn Evangel. Let's go and eat your Cerberus or your Rage Hound. And we have a Scophos War Leader here. Not a bad draw. Vigilance. Another land. Wow. I guess I can't complain. My opponent got super screwed last turn. Or last game. Alright, let's go and play a 4/5 and pass. Pretty straightforward game plan. Alright. 5 lands. 2 cards left in hand. Triumphant Surge. Nice. Kill a 4-power creature. Unfortunately, we didn't have the Sentinel up there. Something that's not a land, please. Ooh, Tectonic Giant is a good one. It's a very good one. Just go and get blue mana on board. Play Techie Giant. And guess I should have played a Mountain to bluff a red spell there. Guess I can still bluff a red spell here. Bluff Infuriate, I don't know. Alright, Tectonic Giant seems good on this board. Opponent is down to 1 card here. I need them to not have like an Iroas's Blessing or something. Play land. Elspeth Conquers Death, come on. Alright, good news is I can at least sack in response so it doesn't exile. No, that's not what I want to do. Also, Elspeth Conquers Death doesn't really do anything else this game, so that's fine. Sorry, Tectonic Giant. Alright, we need to draw spells. Celebrant. It's a good one. I could kill, like, this Alcide and then exile it. Not in a position to attack at all, right? I need to find Kiora, Best the Sea God. Yeah, this doesn't do too much here. Taking 2 in the air, slowly but surely dying to that. Not great. Not great. Nyxborn Courser, sure. Huh. Mire's Grasp. Nice, so I can go Mire's Grasp this thing, and then exile it out of the graveyard. Return target creature with converted mana cost 2 or less from it. That's a pretty sweet combo. They could also sack this in response to save it. I could actually sack Careless Celebrant to kill this and see if they want to like preemptively use it. And then I can go for the Mire's Grasp here. And if they don't do that, that leaves me with this and this versus these two. They do have the Sentinel's Eyes, which I can kind of stop a little bit. Alright, I'm going to play that. I'm going to go for that, I think. Alright, let's do this right. Sack Celebrant. Try and kill the Alcide. Oh, hold on. Oh, shoot. I might have messed up. Because my spells cost 2 more to cast. So this is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I have enough to activate this once. So I do think they'll be able to bring back Sentinel's Eyes here. Alright, they give that pro whatever. Sure. Alright, this is 4 mana. Alright, so we'll kill the Envoy. And then that's going to target. And I'm going to Timurit them in response. My opponent will sack the enchantment, though. So they'll have Triumphant Surge plus the enchantment in their graveyard. Actually, no, because the stupid... I was going to say I could probably eat this. But then the Elspeth's... Whatever, Elspeth Conquers Death brings this back as a 2/2 lifelinker. Do I just want to go eat this and have them have a 2/2 lifelinker on board? Maybe that's better. I don't want them to have this Sentinel's Eyes. 1 mana short of eating both. I'm going to eat the Sentinel's Eyes here, because it's so good with this thing. And it lets them start attacking as well. Oh, never mind. Yeah, they were targeting that with the Alseid, so it won't be in the graveyard for them to bring back. Yeah, okay, I like that plan a little bit better, because now this is just representing 1/1 lifelinker again. Hero of the Nyxborn, very solid. I need to draw stuff still. Like, relevant stuff. Oh, Jesus. I guess that means if I draw the whatchamacallit, I'm good. I'm just going to go ahead and eat their graveyard now. And pass the turn. Alright, I need them to draw some lands here while I'm drawing my mana sources. I wonder if I should have cut a land from this deck. I have Altar plus Traveler's Amulet. Maybe I should have played 16 lands? This doesn't feel good for me, though, because they just slap R's on this hero, pumps the rest of their team. I feel like I'm in bad shape here. Drawing 8 lands to their 5. Timurit's put in a lot of work for me, but I don't think it's quite enough here. Uh-oh, opponent's counting. Final Flare, sacking that. Deal 5 to Timurit. Okay. Oh, Timurit. What did they sack? Oh, could gain life here. I could exile some creatures from my graveyard just to gain some life. I don't have a lot of ways to use my graveyard. I think that's probably worth it, and then I can still sack Timurit. Let's go Grim Physician and War Leader. Gain 2 life. And would I rather... No, I'm just going to sack to the lamp pad here. This does let them start attacking for 4. See if they have a way to target their Nyxborn hero. If they do, that's bad. Doesn't really matter what I block either. They target this with a pump. Oh, they just had everything here. Oh, no. Alright, I'm empty-handed. Could still draw Kiora Best the Sea God, and we're in very good shape. They're tapped out. Come on. Just once, just once. Take 3. Come on, off the top. Omen of the Dead. That's a real draw. Omen of the Dead into Tectonic Giant. The Giant does block. We get a Scry as well. Alright, is it right to get the Giant, or do we just want the Careless Celebrant? I think it's probably just the Giant. Alright, play the Giant. We can sack Omen on end step. Alright, alright, alright. Omen was a good draw. Omen was a good draw. Flicker of Fate. I like this card a lot. Alright, let's see if there's an attack. No attack. Yes. Alright, find me the Kiora. On top. No! What is that? Get out of here. 8, 9, 10 lands. Yes! Get wrecked. Do they have enchantment removal in their hand? 8/8 hexproof, no attacks. Next turn, tap all non-land permanents. Tap all of these. No! No! They had a revoke. Alright, I still have an 8/8 hexproof. So I feel like I'm supposed to attack with Tectonic Giant, and then they can go block, plus like block with a 1/1. No, they have to block with at least another real 2 power creature, but this draws me into other cards. Right? So, yeah, attack with Tectonic Giant, and then I get to potentially hit some other cards. I took out Thassa's Intervention, which would be very nice here. They get to save whatever creature they throw in front, right? So they can go, like, block with 2/4 and a 2/2. I'm basically trading Tectonic Giant for the Alseid, which is not good if Dawn's Evangel gets on board. But I also don't think I win this game by just, like, sitting back not doing anything. Maybe I could sit back and not do anything. Yeah, I'm just going to pass here. I've got this 8/8 hexproof, which makes me feel a little bit safer. I'm at a pretty high life total. I can wait till I find something like Aspect, Grim Physician, Solid 2. And I'll just pass. Alright, Kiora did not just win the game, but gave us a pretty good shot here. Nyxborn Courser's fine. There we go. Omen of the Forge is a nice one. So I can actually Omen to kill a creature. This plus this just blocks Tectonic Giant. That's so gross. I think I just want to Omen this thing down right now. Although Grim Physician can start getting in there. And then if they block, the Alseid dies. If not, I can like end of turn kill this thing. I think I can still afford to wait a little bit. Just play defensively. Do have to find a way to actually win here. Flummox Cyclops, sure. I mean, they just keep drawing gas. They have the same number of cards that I do. Alright, let's go ahead and try to kill the Alseid here. And they probably sack in response. Doesn't really matter what they target. And we will Omen in response. Still doesn't really matter. Looking for something like Aspect. Elspeth's Nightmare is nice. Traveler's Amulet is not. Elspeth's Nightmare just kills like Nyxborn Courser. I guess I probably want to kill Dawn Evangel. Because that has a little bit of extra value. Oh, did I take... I might have taken Aspect of Manicore out of my deck. There we go. That's what we want. We want our opponent to draw lands. Ooh, Blood Aspirant actually matters. Blood Aspirant's solid. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and pass here, and then next turn, with this trigger on the stack, we're going to sack it to Blood Aspirant. I guess we can actually kill that with Blood Aspirant, and then exile their graveyard. So I'm on full control, right? Can I respond? No, it didn't let me respond. Come on, game. Why do you hate me? All right, well, I can still do this. Oh, I wanted to do it in response to their graveyard dying, whatever. This just has to attack into me next turn anyway. If I attack with multiple creature, I need to get through these stupid 2/4s. Yep. Yep. Wow. All right. We have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 lands. 12, 13. So I can Blood Aspirant, sack Grim Physician. Grim Physician kills this, and I make it so that a 2/4 can't block. And then I attack with this plus this, and then Flummox Cyclops can't block. And then they only have a 2/2 and a 2/4 to block, which means I trade this for a 2/2 and then potentially draw into another card. They get to attack me back for a decent amount, but this becomes a 3/3. Oh, I have the, whatchamacallit, the Akroan War, don't I? Yeah, I still have the Akroan War in my deck, which is very nice here. So, I think I wait. Could attack with the 8/8, right? Or I could actually go attack, attack, just so this can't block. Use Blood Aspirant after combat. Make it so this can't block, and then I'm getting in. They would have to have a pretty sick pump there. That's probably fine. I think I want to get some damage in. Make them attack with this. I can also wait. I think the Akroan War is very good here. Daybreak Chimera. Okay, so that's going to go ahead and force us to do stuff. Because that is an actual clock. Oriad. Oriad is nice here. Oriad's going to help us find some action. You got to be careful about decking out, I guess. Discard. Alright, that's actually pretty strong. That lets me attack with Tectonic Giant this turn. And Tectonic Giant. Do I want to just deal 3 to their face, or do I want to try and find the Akroan War? I think I just want to find the war. Alright, there's the Akroan War. So next turn I can play that. Plus I'm attacking for 4 this turn. They take it. That's nice. So Akroan War is going to go ahead and take Daybreak Chimera, and then remember they have to swing out on me on Chapter 2. So unless they have another Revoke Existence or something, I think the Akroan War is going to give me a good shot at winning this game. Do got to watch out for this. This can actually make a pretty big swing. I have 11 cards left. I don't think I have a Portent of Betrayal. Also, remember, I have this Blood Aspirant, so I can sack whatever I end up taking. Sure. Alright, so let's start with this. 2, 3, 4. I'm going to take their Daybreak Chimera. I'm going to play this, and then I'm just going to pass the turn and use that next combat step to try and get them here. They need another enchantment removal spell. Even if they have that, I can sack their Chimera to this Blood Aspirant. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. Alright, they scooped. Nice, nice, nice. Woo! Oh, baby! What a game. Kiora... We didn't even get to do a thing. The 8/8 hexproof was enough to win that game. That lets us keep playing. I didn't think we were going to win that game. We got lucky. Alright. Akroan War was also just like the card for that situation. But yeah, let's go ahead and play a couple more. We've got potentially 2 more wins. If we lose, we're out though. So let's jump right on into match number 5. See you there. Alright. Back for match number 4. I like this hand a lot. I guess Omen of the Dead's not great. Opponent's Mullen twice. 3 times? Or just auto Mullen 3 times? We have Elspeth's Nightmare. It's sometimes awkward. Your opponent just plays like a 3-1 on turn 2, and then this doesn't do anything. You just get beat down. Aspect of Mana Core is pretty bad. Actually, this hand's not great. We really need Elspeth's Nightmare to put in some work. Doesn't matter what I lead off with here. I guess I actually shouldn't have led off with Swamp there, because now my opponent might know I have this Omen due to the pause. Ooh, Slaughter Priest. Okay. Slaughter Priest is the card we were looking for. Nice. Tectonic Giant. So hopefully they don't have a way to like pump this or anything, because we would like to Elspeth's Nightmare that. This card is very good though. It would have been awesome in our deck, I think. Alright, let's go for the Elspeth's Nightmare. Very nice. Let's get an island out. Drop this. Next turn we have Tectonic Giant. Alright, just snipe that. Opponent did mold it for this game, so I'm feeling like our odds are pretty good. We get to look at their hand and thought seize them, or rather duress them. They're probably going to Omen in response. Sure. Nice. Get the Slaughter Priest back. Pretty good combo with the Omen as well, because these sack. And we have Funeral Rites, their own Elspeth's Nightmare. We could play around that, right? Dream Shaper Shaman's not even close. I think I'm just going to take Funeral Rites, because I can play around Elspeth's Nightmare. In fact, it doesn't even kill any of our creatures, so take away their card draw. Play Tectonic Giant, and we should be pretty set this game. We've got Aspect of Mana Core, too. I mean, if they draw lands, well, we're just going to start dealing 3 with this Giant. This is not a card you want to be mana screwed against. Exile their graveyard doesn't matter super much here. Super much. Slaughter Priest plus Omen could be decent, but we've got the Aspect, so yeah. All right. You don't mold a 4 very often. That being said, our opponent's playing some sacrifice shenanigans. They've got a very similar deck to ours. It looks like they might be a little bit more focused. That being said, I think the Portent is good against other sacrifice decks. Grim Physician, fine. Farika's Libation, probably okay. They have sagas and expensive enchantment creatures from what we saw. Aspect also probably fine, but those are cards I'm considering. Let's go ahead and take out the Underworld Charger. Probably just the stupid hero again. This card is so bad in my deck, I just don't have ways to target it. Yeah, I like our odds here. Alright, where are you at, hero? You are no hero today. Alright, run it back. See you in the game. Alright. Blood Aspirant, Traveler's Amulet's nice. So we go 1-drop, 2-drop, and then turn 3 Amulet to make this a 2-2. That seems fine. It's a little bit slow. It's not super strong. There we go. That's something to work towards. And we have essentially 1 island already. That being said, they have Elspeth's Nightmare, so I could see this biting the bullet before we get to play it. Slaughter Priest on curve. Very nice. Let's go Bloody Boy and pass. This only triggers when you sack a permanent. I'm going to leave Grim Physician on defense. Alright, no Elspeth's Nightmare, please. Alright, so they're going to kill my Blood Aspirant, and they're going to take this out of my hand. So there's like a legit... like, let's see what we draw. I almost want to concede right now so that they don't know about this. But they're in red-black. Like, what can they do about it? But my hand is terrible. So I'm going to take my best card. I'm going to have 5 mana sources facing down a 4-3. Alright, this seems premature, but I'm actually going to scoop and not let them know about this card. That's 100% incorrect. Don't do that. Don't do what I just did. This sacks next. Oh, it doesn't sack next turn, but man. Just, come on, opponent. Don't have the Elspeth's Nightmare. Like, just don't have it. Why'd you have to have it? I'm going to bring the Underworld Charger back in. Probably, well, no, Portent's still solid. I should probably be playing this Oriad. It was really good in that last game. I mean, it cycled 1 time, but that's all we needed. Aspect? Red-black has a lot of removal. I don't know that Aspect's actually even where I want to be. Alright. Running it back. See you in game 3. Three, 2, 1. Alright, we're back. This is one of those awkward Traveler's Amulet hands, because I don't know whether to get Island or Mountain. Probably Mountain, but we'll see. We've got to draw towards it. Also don't necessarily need to sack it right away for what it's worth. Like, if we draw a Mountain, we're obviously going to go get Island, but if we draw an Island, yeah, we go get Mountain. Alright. Just going to go get Mountain here. This can help us find islands. Actually, both the Omens can. Yeah, let's get Mountain and pass. Alright, now I want my opponent to play their own... oh, they have an Omen of the Dead in their hand. See, that's what I'm talking about. That slight little pause there. They got priority for something, so we know they have a 1-mana black instant. There aren't a lot of those. Drew the Mountain. Alright, let's go ahead and... Elspeth's Nightmare, their boy. Just the auto-concede last game. Just the most embarrassing thing I've ever done in my life. I don't advise doing that. It's not smart play. Omen of the Dead looking pretty scrawny here. Hopefully they play something that just dies to this. Unfortunately, they did not. Altar's nice, though. Gets us blue mana. So they have Black Omen, Red Omen. I think I'm just going to take Black Omen here. We don't have a particularly good follow-up, though, which is unfortunate. 2 to face, or get a creature back. Yeah, you can have your Red Omen. Let's go here, here, and we can hold up Omen of the Forge, but it's not great. They've got a pretty nice curve here. We're going to fall behind if we don't get some creatures on board. Oh, shoot, I'm an idiot. Never mind. No, I'm not an idiot. I was going to say, maybe I should have taken the red omen because their graveyard's going to get exiled, but that just incentivizes them to run out the black omen and... yeah, they would just play the black omen and get their dude back and then get the red omen away. They didn't play the Hierophant. Okay, that's a little weird. Important, but I don't have a way to sack their creature. That's why I don't like Portent of Betrayal. You see, Tim? This is why I don't like Portent of Betrayal. Alright. I can't even cast the stupid Thassa's Intervention. This is not looking good. Can this sack itself? It can, but I'm 1 mana off. They have like an instant or something they want to cast here. Because they could have cast the Hierophant. Alright, well, I think this turn's probably going to just have to be like Omen Shock You. And then Scry. That feels bad, but the Omen's not killing anything here. That was weird. Why did they not play that? They wanted to hold up the activation on this thing? Sure. You have your Hierophant now. Maybe they misclicked. Forge, Nightmare. Alright. This can go to any player, right? Alright, pass. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to be scrying here. This feels bad. 5 mana, scry 2. Alright, Tectonic Giant's nice. It's not a particularly good attacker here. Careless Celebrant's also pretty good. They have the Omen of the Forge to make it work. I guess if I go Careless Celebrant and they just forge it down, that's not good, right? But then I can Omen it back. I think I'm just supposed to go like Tectonic Giant, draw it, trade it off, and then play Omen of the Dead. But I don't think I'm supposed to draw this Careless Celebrant. They go attack with this, take 2, and then Omen it. That'd be pretty nice. Alright, I'm going to keep Tectonic Giant on top. I'm going to play Tectonic Giants. Pass the turn. This will not trigger off the Omen, though, because it's not a spell that's targeted it when it enters the battlefield. It's an ability, so I won't get to do the thing. Alright, it doesn't look like they have a 5th land. I think I like going and block on Soul Reaper and then making them use this. I mean, they have 3 other cards in hand that clearly aren't lands, otherwise why not play this? I'm going to block, though. They use a trick, that's fine. Oh, they have an aspect? That's annoying, but it's still fine. It's not that big of a deal. They don't get any damage on me here. Basically time walk me, which is annoying, but fine. Doesn't have first strike anymore either, for what it's worth. Alright, get back Tectonic Boy. Ooh, a Crow in War is nice. I can Crow in War this thing. And then next turn go Portent plus sack, but I need to draw a land. I can also Crow in War this and have a friggin' 5/3. Which one? I think I just want to take this and then set up the potential to draw a land and go Portent, take this, sack it. Because if I Crow in War this and then I don't end up with a way to sacrifice it, they get it back. Plus it forces the attack next turn. Could take this, untap it, and force their attack. Yeah, that's not bad either. It's a good draw, but I'm not sure what to do. 1 Hourglass. Alright, let's cast this. Take the 5/3. Sure, I'm going to take the 5/3 here. And hopefully find a way to sack it before they get it back. Or trade it off or something. I guess if they kill this somehow, then they get their dude back. But black-red doesn't really have ways to kill enchantments. I guess they could go Farika's Libation. I'd sack my Omen of the Dead. Can't sack the Aspect. They still control that. You gotta be careful about playing creatures here too, because this is going to force their creatures to attack next turn. Granted, if I draw a land, I'm going to go Portent, take this, and then sack this. Maybe I might have messed up. I probably shouldn't have taken the Hierophant because it's going to die to this. Should have just taken this and chump blocked if they attacked. Yeah, I took the wrong creature, I think. Alright, they're going all in on Berserker. Take my 3. Alright. So, now what? I can go Portent, take this, and then use it to sack a creature. They have to attack next turn, so if I can go trade this for this, that's awesome. I think I just want to take this and sack it. This has to attack, so what can they do to really blow me out? It's their creature against their creature. Alright. Because the alternative here is to go Portent, take this, sack it to itself. I'm just going to go ahead and take the... Yeah, I'm going to take this and sack it to itself and hope that those two just trade in combat. That can go to the bottom. Yeah. Sack yourself, please. Alright, not bad. Alright, so now I'll pass and see what they've got to follow up with. This has to attack. So the only thing that really makes this super bad for me is if they have like another one of these, but then this dies. Like, as long as one of these two creatures dies, I think I'm okay with this exchange. Soul Reaper. Alright, do you have a land? Otherwise, these just trade. Alright, I'll block. Nice. Well, that was kind of insane for me. Timuret as well? Timuret seems good. Alright, so that goes away. Nothing really happened there. Got some options. I can go Tectonic Giant. Can also play Timuret and just start eating Graveyard here. I think Tectonic Giant plus Scry is not bad. Can also go Tectonic Giant plus Timuret. And again, I can also just go Timuret and start eating your Graveyard so they can't get value out of that. I like the Tectonic Giant. This lets me scry on end step. Really, I'm looking for like Island plus Kiora's whatever. Kiora Best the Sea God. That would be the ideal draw. Island would be nice too because Thassa's Intervention is pretty good at this point. I don't have the double blue for it though. Dream Shaper Shaman's a nice one. I mean, it's a little variable. This card could be really bad for me or it could be just fine for me. I don't know. So on their end step, they can pay 3 mana, sack a non-land permanent, like this Forge or something. Land pad, I do not want these cards, I know that much. Did I put an island on the bottom? That was a different game. Alright. So I can go Rage Scarred Berserker, attack with Tectonic Giant. I probably shouldn't have played my land first, but whatever. And then I can play Timuret second main. There's no guarantee my opponent's going to hit anything awesome off Dream Shaper, and it costs them like 5 mana to do that plus that. So I think this is okay. Do I want to hold up a particular color? Yeah, we'll do this. Let's go Berserker, attack with Tectonic Giant. It's a pretty good attack. I am just going to do the cards here. And hoping to hit Island before I hit Kiora thing. Alright, we did hit an island. I'm going to go ahead and do island. And again, I kind of messed up by playing my land first, but that's fine. And then we'll play Timuret second main. It'll be a 2-4. This is a close match. Really going to come down to how good this Dream Shaper Shaman ends up being. If they even want to use that. I think they probably do. They probably want to go Shock Me and then use this. And then just turn it into a random permanent, right? Non-land permanent. That seems pretty good. Alright. Shock Me, I assume. Could shock a creature and have a better attack here. But I'll block this on this. I really don't like this card. Red doesn't have enchantment payoffs, but we'll see how good it is here. This is the type of situation where it looks like it's going to be strong. Thassa's Intervention gives me a pretty good shot at finding Kiora Best the Sea God as well. Gives me, I need a couple turns, right? Alright, so my opponent's got to decide here if they want to actually use this. I assume they do since they cast this already. But it does require 3 mana. Alright, so here we go. Sack a non-land permanent, and then you flip until you hit the next non-land permanent, and you put that on the battlefield. What's it going to be? It's kind of fun. Mire's Grasp. Thankfully that doesn't kill anything. It does weaken something, though. Alright, I don't think that's too bad of a situation for us. Important, huh? We don't have a way to sack a creature, though. I'm going to go Island. That gives us double blue for Thassa's Intervention. So we can kind of wait until our opponent's next turn. And then, oh, they can sack that Mire to get another spin, but that's not great. Yeah, we can go Intervention for, like, everything next turn for 6. And look at the next 6 cards, put 2 of them in our hand. Could also hold up Timuret here. Tectonic Giant doesn't have a good attack, though, so we're going to go ahead and just pass here. Sit behind our Intervention. If we have to counter something, we can with Thassa's Intervention. And if they want to use this, like, they have to give up a real permanent here. I don't think they really want to get rid of Mire's Grasp, but we can use this as a counter spell if things go super poorly for us. Right now, I kind of like where we're at, but this card's a little wonky. Could see them attacking with it, too. It is a 5/4. Go block, block, or something like that. Block, block with these two. That trades off, though. I don't like that. Alright, 5/4 coming in. Again, we have interaction here. There's 2 cards. I can counter something. Could also take 5. Could also chump. That gives them one less permanent. I almost like that. I almost like just going chump block here. That way they can't spin the wheel on the Mire's Grasp again. They have to actually sack a real permanent to this Dream Shaper. I don't love the chump there, but I think Thassa's Intervention should be able to find us here. It's basically dig through time right now. Unless I have to counter something, that would suck. Alright, so we're not using Dream Shaper. Gravebreaker Lamia. And that's a good card. Whatever they put in the graveyard, we can eat, though. Alright, I'm going to just spin the wheel on this Thassa's Intervention and not counter that. Not sure if that's good or bad for us, but we'll see. Pharika's Swarm. Alright, and there goes the Shaman. So we can untap in Timuret. We could also do this for a lesser amount and just Timuret once. So we could look at, we have 2. Again, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. So we could do Thassa's Intervention for 5 and just activate Timuret once here. I think that's probably fine. Let's do the Intervention first. We could also Intervention for 7. And then untap in Timuret if we need to. Yeah, that's probably okay. Let's just go all out on the Thassa's Intervention. 7. And this gives us a good shot. There we go. There's 1. And Pharika's Libation is pretty good here. Alright. So I think we go 8/8 hexproof, eat this, eat your next best creature. Maybe they just concede to the Kiora. Yeah, I am gonna just eat this Pharika spawn right now. Eat that and what other creature? Probably the Death Toucher. And I'll ship the turn here. Next turn they tap out. We can probably maybe even just kill them next turn. Let's see, they have 1 card. They have 4/4 lifelinker. Let's see. Do they have, like, Portent of Betrayal would be kind of gross. I think we can even live through that, though. Gravebreaker Lamia is nice. 4/4 lifelink for 5 makes your spells in your graveyard cost 1 less, so you escape for 1 less mana. And then it entombs when it enters battlefield. You can search for any card and throw it into your graveyard. My opponent's deck is really sweet. Like, it's good. But I have the best card in the set, so we'll see if they can beat that. If not, they're tapping out next turn. This is 8, 14. I have 16 damage on board. This looks like... No, not Portent of Betrayal. Alright, we got something else going on here. Gray Merchant. Oh. Alright. That's swingy. Alright, and then they're going to spin the wheel on the Shaman. Probably sack in the Soul Reaper, I imagine. I think we're going to kill him with Portent. Let's see what they swing in here. Was that another Mire's Grasp? Jeez, double Mire's Grasp. Alright. Maybe we don't have them with Portent here, but even so, they don't untap next turn, and then I steal their best permanent. This card is unreasonable. They could put Mire's Grasp on this Death Toucher. Alright, let's see. Tap you down, play a Swamp. We have 8, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, just take this. And that should be game. Oh, I forgot Portent Scribe. Nobody cares. Alright, Kiora Best the Sea God. Unreal. My opponent's deck is crazy too, so... Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, my opponent's deck is probably better than mine, but I have a card that is better than all the other cards, so I guess it doesn't matter. It's not a feel-good for my opponent. Their deck was very good, but that does put us at 4-1. We get to play one more match, win or loss, it's over. This game's been going on for a little while. This is a long draft, but I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you all in the last match coming up. I'm sorry, I gotta take a screenshot real quick. Red, red, double blue, double black. That's what you get. There, this hand is solid. Keep. I think I just want the aspect gone here. Aspect solid with the hero. And it does give me a pretty good like attack here, but I don't think I want to really get rid of a land. Maybe I do. The Omen's nice as well. Yeah, maybe I get greedy and get rid of a land because I have the Traveler's Amulet here. Alright. Did my opponent mulliganed as well. Oh, they mulliganed twice. We're against LTB 1206. We've been playing Kiora Best the Sea God. Kiora unreasonably demolishes the Sea God, if you will. Really the only reason we won a couple of our games here, but look, we moved into blue in pack 3 for that card. That's how ridiculous that card is. Alright, we'll go Traveler's Amulet and pass. So opponent went down to 5. I don't have an amazing hand, but if Omen can pick off a creature and Hero plus Aspect can pick off a creature, I feel alright about it. I am going to play my 3-1 here against a red deck. Red, black. Mire's Grasp. Sure, I'm fine with that trade. If we find a land, we'll play Hero. If we don't, we'll search for probably Island. Double Swamp's really only necessary for Timuret. Omen of the Forge. Okay. Opponent making pretty good do with a 5-land hand there. Alright, so that makes it pretty easy. Let's go Island. Let's go. You just assume anytime your opponent Traveler's Amulets for an island that they're going to have a Kiora Best the Sea God. If I can get this Omen in my graveyard, I can already bring back the Rage Mutt. Or Rage Hound. Do I keep calling it Rage Mutt? Stampede Rider, huh? Alright, well, let's see what we draw first. I'm just going to blow out that for it. Might have to be another one of those Omen sack Omen type things here. Stampede Rider, 3 toughness. That's my weak point. Could also draw like a Cavern Lampad or something and be fine. Just play a small creature. Do I want to do that? Bring back Rage Mutt? I think that's fine. Or I could just untap and draw here. Grim Physician. That's fine. That also trades for Stampede Rider. Alright, opponent's scrying. So opponent has not quite undone their mulligan, but they've done a good job of just not getting run down here. Playing red-black. 1 top, 1 bottom. Played good cards so far. Just your standard red-black removal. All right, they have a Lampad of their own. They attack. I'm going to block and then try to Omen that thing off. Opponent does not block, though. Nice. Smart opponent is smart. All right, I'm just going to pass. Now I can go for the Aspect here, and if it sticks, it sticks. And if it doesn't, they kill this in response. That's fine, too. I can give something -1 and then Aspect. I'd rather use my Aspect right now if I can. Try to get a card out of their hand. It's not even like a full 2-for-1 if they get me here, because I think Omen to kill their guy. Like I said, if it sticks, it sticks. And then we just kill their creature anyway. So not too big of a deal. I guess like Infuriate would be problematic. I'll just sack it to the Lampad. I'm cool with that. Yeah, now we have a 3-1. Trades up for 4 drops. And we can bring back Rage Boy. Oh, you have an Erebos. Well, that's a card. That is a strong card. I guess I'm attacking. My opponent blocks, then they can draw a card, but they have to lose 2. And I can bring back the Rage Hound. Erebos is very good. Gives -2, -1. Opponent does block. Interesting. Guess I'm fine with that. I'm not going to beat Erebos on curve, I don't think. 1, 2... I'm never giving Hero back. I'll keep Grim Physician in my graveyard. And I will play this Swamp, I think. If I can. Have I already played a land this turn? No. My hand is a little bit greedy for mana. Erebos, sacrifice another creature. Alright, let's see them play the 4-5 here, and then Rage Boy dies. 2-3. Okay. We can go Portent Sack. That's nice. Although they can sack in response. That's not nice. Mire's Grasp. So we'll go Mire's Grasp. Oh, it's -2, -1. Well, my opponent's going to play smart there. They can't actually kill the Rage Hound. They can block and just draw another card. Could go Mire's Grasp to kill it, and then they just draw another card. Just going to go and attack. They trade off. That's not the worst thing in the world. Again, they have to lose life to do this. I mean, they're going to outcard me for sure, but I think that's fine. Erebos is sweet. Oh, they have Omen of the Dead in their hand as well. That's what it feels like. Alright. Get back Mogus's Soul Reaper. Sure. Sure thing. Well, this is another game where we're looking for Island plus Sea God thing. Opponent's just being very careful to keep their sack up here, if you know what I mean. Could keep that in hand. I think it's probably worth playing it. So, again, I could go Portent. They sack this. Sack another creature. Target creature gets -2, -1. I'm pretty sure they can sacrifice it to this effect and also target it, which is annoying. So I can use my Portent to kill this, essentially. But Erebos draws them a card. So I'm down the Portent. They're up a card. They're down 2 life. It's probably not good enough. Can also go for the Mire's Grasp, which I don't know is getting any better here. Probably fine. I do want to get Black Devotion off board for Erebos, unless I draw like a Lampad or something. Alright, they're going to draw a card. Getting just destroyed. Need 1 more card in my graveyard to put the Rage Hound on board. Just play something that dies to Omen of the Forge. Come on, opponent. Just do it. And they play nothing. I mean, there's a chance they don't sack this to Scry if they care about the devotion. I will play Elspeth's Nightmare, though, because it gives me a shot at their hand, and also the Exiling seems relevant in a couple turns. Also, puts another card in my graveyard. Alright, let's see if they sack their Omen or not. Again, it can be a real game plan to just try and make this a creature. Something on end step? Question mark. Fateful End me for 3. Deal 3 to me and scry. Okay. Guess I'm fine with it. I think they just want to get Erebos on board. That's what... Oh yeah, Gray Merchant, sure. You got your Gray Merchant. Remember when we could have picked up a Gray Merchant and we didn't? Looks like Erebos is about to come on board. I do get to duress them here. I guess this was their only spell. They just wanted to get it out of their hand again. That was a bad draw. A really bad draw. Alright. Oh. Alright, so their hand is nuts is what you're saying. I don't think I'm going to beat their hand being this good. Alright. I'll pack it in here. I have nothing in hand, and their hand is insane. Alright, we're playing against a better version of our deck. Good to know. Good to know. They've got good removal. They've got a pretty good bomb. Probably still can't beat Kiora, Best of the Sea God, but it's okay. We'll just draw that next time. Oh no, we're not responding. Alright, maybe I will pause here. Never mind. We responded. Starlit Mantle. Forgot I had this in my side. Excuse me, my sideboard. Portent is good against the creatures that sack themselves. Farika's Libation. I'm going to bring that in. They have good enchantments. That's a good way to get rid of them. Grim Physician seems a little bit weak. Nyxborn Marauder. I guess anything that beats down is fine. This is a matchup where I like Aspect of Lamprey because it's going to go long. And I kind of like the Starlit Mantle. So what do we not want? I don't think Hero of the Games is even supposed to be in my deck, so that's bad. Grim Physician didn't look super good here. I don't want to cut all my creatures though, so let's be a little careful. Portent does seem good. Like again, they can just kind of take their Mogus's thing and sack it. I don't think Erebos can sack itself though, and I'm not really gonna have the whatchamacallit. Aspect of Manicore seems pretty bad. So we'll go and make that cut. I think I'm still gonna keep 2 islands even though I'm bringing in a blue card, and I will see you all for game number 2. All right, we are back. Yeah, this hand's okay. Myers Grasp and Farika's Libation can take care of my opponent's first 2 threats, and then hopefully we draw into something. Our opponent did just, I think, snipe us on a mold of 5, though, which is not bode well for us. Okay, Tectonic Giant's a nice one to follow up with. We go kill, Tectonic Giant, and hopefully they don't have a kill spell. Maybe even stick the Aspect. They didn't play a creature either, so I can run out my Charger here. Charger attacks through most of the things people can play on turn 3. Come on, play a removal spell on Charger. I don't care about Charger. Oh! Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and play Island into... Doesn't matter what order I do this. Underworld Charger cannot block. Tectonic Giant can block. Probably wouldn't block this Charger, though. We already know they have a decent amount of damage-based removal. Oh, that's sick. Good news is we can make them sack a creature. Bad news is we lost our Tectonic Giant. Other good news is we could just do that, but we don't have a way to sack this. Maybe I wait on this. Just go Libation now. You lose this and this. Attack for 3. Definitely going to attack for 3. Do I want to Crow and War this thing? That's the question. Gets me in for 7 next turn. And makes it a little awkward for them to play creatures, right? I feel like maybe I just want to go for the Libation here. But then if they follow up with like a really busted enchantment, that's not great. I think I'm going to play the Crow and War. Just press my advantage. This falls off, actually, right? Enchant creature you control. So if I gain control of their creature, the blessing goes to the graveyard because it can't enchant one of my creatures. I forgot about that. So we don't actually hit them for 7. This is not a 2-turn clock. Still a clock nonetheless, and a pretty good one. Also, Which one's mine? That matters. Which one's mine? Okay, the one on the left is mine. So if I enchant something, I want to enchant the one on the right. We know they have Fateful End. I think I'm going to go Mire's Grasp this, attack for 6. They can sack in response. If they do sack in response, no, they want to keep up Fateful End. Okay. Sure. No, they didn't Fateful End the Charger. So 3 is not going to do anything. It does put a card in my graveyard if they end up killing the Charger. This is a little awkward. All right, so they Fateful End my Charger. Sure. Guess that leaves me with not very much going on. Can't bring back my Charger yet. That goes away. Aww. All right, do I go Blood Aspirant plus Aspect here? Or do I wait on the Aspect? Get 2 cards in their graveyard. Doesn't seem great. All right, I'll pass. Maybe threw that out a little bit too early. All right. Well, we're going to... Oh, actually, we're going to lose one of these, aren't we? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I can bring back Charger next turn and just lose my Aspect. Actually, I can make them sack an enchantment here. They have 4 cards in hand still. Man, we're not doing so hot here. I should have probably waited on that at Crone War. Let's make them sack an enchantment, because their creature can't block, and I don't want my graveyard exiled. Plus, I'd like to keep this Aspect of Lamprey in hand if possible. I need them to not have a final death. Alright, I'm just going to play that out. Escape this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's only 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, what? 1, 2, 3. Sure. Okay. Whatever. Alright, need them to really just not have an answer to my Charger. Guess if Charger dies, can I do it again? No. Nope, here comes the answer. Ah, come on, opponent. Don't have it, man. I asked you not to have it. What'd you do? You had it. Alright, Alter makes Kiora Best the Sea God a top deck. Soul Reaper, okay. Moment of Truth. Hit it 1 time. Just 1 time. Ah, why do you hate me? Alright, can't take that. I can't actually even take anything. They just sack it. I guess I kill Soul Reaper. Alright, looks like we're going out here at 4-1. I do get another shot at Kiora Best the Sea God. Just 1 time, opponent. Just let me have this. Come on. 1 time. I won't ask ever again. Gray Merchant for 3. Go to 1. Unknown Shores. Give him the GG. Alright, I think I did pull the trigger on the Crone War there. I probably could have gotten a little bit more value. Used it a little bit less aggressively. Opponent's deck was really good, though. And I'm not unsatisfied. 4 and 2 seems fine, especially after that little pivot in the draft. Deck was fun to play. We had some good rares. We'll open some packs. We'll call it a day. Act like we care about what we're opening here. Ooh. Ah. Alright, well, that's a good card. I think the blue mana... I mean, the blue mana didn't hurt us that much. There were some mulligans going on, but our deck ticked a little bit better than you would expect for how bad the mana base was. Ooh, Nyx Blue Ancient. Overrated card for every format ever. Tamarack Calls the Dead. Nice one as well. This set does have a lot of just great first pick rares. Not even like bombs, but just good first pick rares on top of just the bombs, right? I might have undersold the gods. With the exception of Perforos, I think they're all just really good. But anyway, that's going to go and do it. We made some gems back. Hopefully we'll get into some best of 1 drafting. Bi-Force we'll do later on down the line. I don't even know what I want to do for Bi-Force for this set, but I had a lot of fun with this deck. I hope you enjoyed the matches. The matches were fun, right? We went back and forth with a lot of people. We saw a lot of different decks. There wasn't like this one deck that was just crushing everybody, right? We played against Sacrifice. We played against the Red White aggro deck. We actually didn't play against a lot of the like Sultai decks, right? We played against the one with Pull of Kranos, the green-black kind of self-mill deck. But this feels a lot better than Eldraine did, and it's exciting. Like the gameplay is fun, the cards are good, and I enjoy it. So we'll be seeing a lot more of Theros Beyond Death.